It's the end of the year.
And since you guys all asked for it,
we thought we'd put together one huge best of video for RMS.
First clip.
It's one of these drift guys. It's pretty good. Oh.
He didn't need that wheel.
That's a control arm bent.
He's messed that right up.
Yeah, he really did mess that right up.
And then some.
Were you aware of the drifting scene when you designed these?
When you worked at Mazda, if you wanted to go to the racetrack, you had to take driving lessons. One of the guys who was our teacher was Mazda's driver to and at Le Mans. The 787.
Wow.
We started talking because drifting had started in Japan. And he said, why do you want to drive a car to go slow?
Words said by a true race car driver. Do you think the Miata's a good or bad drift car?
It's front engine rear drive, so that automatically gives it a leg up. It's like the AE86 Corolla. Great drift car. It's funny to me that you find guys making drift cars out of front drive cars, and the first thing you have to do is convert it to rear drive. Now that tells me, that speaks volumes. Okay?
But do you think with the wheelbase of the Miata being shorter?
It probably makes it more vicious. That's definitely going to make it less controllable when it gets to that point of bye-bye, daddy, which is what drifting is, really.
Right.
Yeah. If you want a car that responds really well on the road, short wheelbase is good. And there's a point at which where if you want to go beyond that, it can become a liability. But having said that, I think the idea of somebody modifying a Miata with a 128-inch wheelbase would be a real riot. I'd love to see that. Maybe we'll find it. Do you have one of those in here yet?
Tell me, Bob. Have you ever gotten your Miata sideways?
When I'm doing my Forza, occasionally I'll get my Miata a little bit out of shape. I'm an OFG, okay? But you don't know what that means?
No, what is that? Indulge us.
Old fart gamer.
Okay. That's a new one.
And I like Forza a lot, okay? And I do, the group races online. And it's really fun when you have these guys that are sideways, totally smoking and wondering why they're getting beat. It's because the car's set up for drifting. It's not set up for going around a corner, okay?
Well, audience, if you ever run into Bob in Forza, watch out. On to the next one, Bob.
Okay, he's warming it up.
Like a crime scene.
I know, what's going on? Now he's got his wife involved. He's saying later. Oh!
Jesus. That dude's knocked out. Look at that. No, he's not.
This was an assassination attempt.
Boom! Dude, that's nuts.
It was just a quick, clean, combustive explosion, and that's it. Oh, look, it started at the bottom. Do you see that?
From under.
Whoa.
Popped all his bags, dude.
It f***ed him up.
Totaled this car. Car's totaled.
It could be animals that chewed on the wires. It could be just the wilderness. He never maintained his car. It could be that girl in the back that plotted a bomb in there. That's for last week.
That's for last week. When you had that party and I asked you to not be so loud, that's what you get.
If a car explodes, you're not gonna just see it and then, oh, we're done, it's good. This is just something else.
That's a little mobster hit.
No Germans had nothing to do with this car bomb.
The latest rage for kids is driving parents and entire neighborhoods crazy.
Nearly every muffler shop in Oakland is installing Whistler tips. It's a piece of metal welded inside the exhaust pipes that makes the car audible for almost a mile.
You know what? I tried that.
Tell me about the whistles.
The whistles got woo!
I've actually installed that in one of my cars, and it sounds nasty.
Oh no!
It sounds just gross.
I mean, when you do stuff to your car, doesn't it make it horrible to drive when you're the driver?
I swear I thought you were gonna say everything you do to your car is it gross. I'm like, no, it's no, it's not. I don't think you get a ticket for that, right?
Oh yeah, you 100% good. For sure. Yeah, again, California is very strict on what you can do to mufflers. It cannot exceed 95 decibels. What's interesting is that I'm not entirely sure from this clip that it was exceeding the decibel limit. It might be that it was just such a high frequency that it carries, which would be a really interesting twist on the normal muffler modification, except that after those things became very popular in Oakland in the early 2000s, the state legislature specifically outlawed whistle tips.
That's just nasty.
Yeah, these are the pickleballers of the car world.
Legal or illegal?
That is very illegal. It gets the legal eagle seal of illegality again.
You guys just can't have fun. That's what it is. At the end of the day, no fun.
Whoa! Oh, damn! Oh!
He almost pulled that off, and I only say he because probably not a lot of women would have tried that in that car. I don't think so. I don't think so. Generally, we overthink things, and we probably would have seen that through 10 different ways it would have went bad and been like,
It could be a mom going to the grocery store.
oh, that's true.
She's in
Late for school, we gotta get there.
You guys.
We woke up late.
Boom.
Woo. This is not their first time doing that.
No, he did that badass. I give him props because it's raining.
Not my Bondo.
You're right, it's one of the boys. What the guys? So what do you think homeboy right here did wrong?
Honestly, just picked the wrong day to do it because this was a pro, okay? Like, he landed super straight. That was, he could have pulled that off if it wasn't wet on the ground. Had it not been raining that day, I don't think that would have happened. I think that would have been a successful landing. Sandra, where do you think those sparks are coming from right there?
Fun. Straight fun. That's where the sparks are coming from.
Let's say you wanted to do this often and you wanted your vehicle to be able to handle that kind of air, you're definitely gonna need to beef up your suspension, your springs, your shocks. You might even need new geometry of control and trailing arms, but that stuff costs a lot of money. It's an expensive hobby, kind of like drifting.
So Red Bull wouldn't do it.
Red Bull has the money to do that.
No, I said a Red Bull drink.
All you need is a Red Bull and a Chevy Cobalt.
That's what you call preparation right there. We do not approve that.
Again, these guys are so ballsy. They're just jumping.
Right next to the guardrail too. Look at that.
I mean,
almost clips the guardrail.
Really clean Are they flat bottom on?
I think it's rear engine.
But it just, yeah, okay. Looked like an actual tray. Again, I would never want to win so much on a canyon road. Don't ever do this. You're going to a frame shop immediately.
I don't think he's gonna make the next 5 corners with a car bent like that. He literally just fell out of the sky.
Dude, I dropped off a curb once and it was,
bent the car.
yeah, just like bent an arm or like dented the oil pan. There's no way that's happening.
Maybe this is a trophy truck edition of that or the rally edition of it.
I didn't think
maybe it has rally suspension on it so he can make it off the cliff.
If somebody did this in front of me, I'm gonna let them have the win. I'm not getting in front of
They
that.
deserve it. They deserve the win.
They deserve it, or if I get in front of it, they're gonna push me off the mountain.
I mean, they're gonna ride off their car, so
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna pass them
good on
in
you.
40 feet anyways when the car stops running.
Just to mess with him, like when we were done, I would also meet him down at the bottom. Be like, dude, best 2 out of 3.
Right?
Because his car's not doing anything
No way
after
he's
that.
going again. No way he's going again.
4x?
No! No!
4x?
Dude, get out of here. No, dude. Dude, that's a jump.
Oh, that is a...
Dude, he's jumping it. That's sick as hell. Did he pop the bags? Did he pop it?
I think it's fine. The obvious one, the under tray, £613. The snapped off bracket, £32. This bent clip,
That's pretty cheap.
£6.
That's pretty cheap.
Duct, £58. For a
We're
grand
doing
total
all right.
of £709.
totally worth it.
Less than $1,000.
Less than $1,000
to jump that high and get it on video.
Not bad though.
Dude, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's a pretty good deal. Look at that.
Look at
Dude,
that.
that is sick. That's
like a poster.
sick.
That's great.
Congratulations.
Good
man.
job, Lamborghini.
You did well, and kudos to Lamborghini. I want one.
But I mean, if it's a regular f***ing Civic, the $1,000
Bumper,
is, the whole car probably gave out.
Yeah.
If we're talking a normal car, you're definitely blowing out shocks. You're definitely running those wheels up into fenders. You're doing body damage. So yeah, you're probably doing $10,000 worth of damage when it's all said and done.
And this was only $900.
Yeah.
So if you want to jump something, get a Lamborghini. Next clip.
It might be from also aggression from
Oh my God, that crew is.
Holy crap.
They're getting beat to hell. In
Yeah.
there.
I mean, he's got like 3 inches of air, but that seems humongous when it's a tank.
Hope you're wearing a helmet.
No harness, nothing.
Nope. No seatbelts. Whew. Not only do you have like your weapons and stuff in the track, but you got your like personal stuff. So that's not usually all the way strapped down.
Projectiles.
Yes.
What that is.
If I was a gunner in this situation, you're gonna have your eye like actually in the sight, and if that driver hits anything or hits the brake, it's like getting smacked in the face.
And so you can see each of the wheels that are driving the tread kind of individually articulating. Is there like actual suspension in there, or do they just kind of float?
You know, we use kind of what we call a torsion bar, which is these, you know, kind of long rods that go across the bottom. If you're actually looking at a tank, the wheels aren't perfectly aligned to each other on each side because they're set to the torsion bar, so they're actually kind of staggered a little bit. And that twisting of the metal is what, you know, you'll see the wheels go up and down independently on their arms, and that's what kind of makes the tank ride very, very smooth.
All that weight coming down at once.
So you could break all your torsion bars, you could break your shocks, road wheels could crack in half, your track could just come off.
Me using brake cleaner versus how my mechanics use it. Okay.
Oh, that is so true. That is me, like a cheap ass. Okay, for sure, Juan. That's Juan.
Not gonna lie, when I worked at the dealer, it just works better that
No,
way.
it doesn't work better. No, it doesn't. No, it
Flushes
doesn't.
everything.
What is you flushing?
Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
So as a shop owner, this is not funny, okay?
It's a serious matter.
This is a serious matter. When you're using it like me, I'm over here like, you know, a little baby, like, little baby dab, you know, a little spray here and there, like, okay, we could clean it up. But when your guy's using it, since he doesn't give a how much it costs, he's like,
But when you get the pressure with a high amount of fluid coming out, you do get maximum cleaning, if you will. But there's gonna be some waste.
okay, you buy a box of it.
I've not
and
owned a shop.
Leave it at your school and make sure that they don't use it as much. You're gonna see how you're gonna be mad.
I come from privilege.
There you go. Let's just say it's a $100 job and the part was like $30, but you wasted another $30 on carburetor cleaner. Are you serious? Oh, it's because the part needed to be clean. I'm like, not the whole car though, dude. You're gonna have to wipe down the whole car with carb. What is he even cleaning? That's
I know.
fucking rust.
Is he about to weld something or something?
Stop it.
I'm trying to
You
help
want it
him out.
flammable? Calling a friend.
Please leave your message
So we're doing this. Watch me.
Hello.
Hey, Juanito.
Talk to me.
Hey, how many carbs do we have left?
I will have to look, bro. I don't know yet.
How many did you pop yesterday?
2.
Liar.
2.
You liar on what?
On the Subaru, sí se fueron como unos 10.
Oh my God, 10 on the Subaru?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Juanito.
Ahí ya estamos.
10. Let me get the next meme. This one hurt my pocket already.
The first service is $25,000. You need a new set of tires every 16 months or so. That's $8,000 a pop. You need to replace the wheels every 10,000 miles. That's $50,000.
What?
You have to get the
Replace
brakes in
the
road
wheels?
replaced. That's $118,000. The quad turbos every 2 years at $26,000. Fuel tank, the air duct cooler kit, engine tuning and calibration. Camshafts need to be adjusted. That's a total of almost $500,000 in the course of 4 years.
Why? That's insane. Yeah, that's a bunch of cool Civics.
Yeah, that's a lot of cars. See, just maintenance, you get a house. I'm in the wrong business.
$25,000 oil change is absurd. That's absurd. What are they pouring gold into it?
I think so.
Liquid gold?
And that's just a normal service. That's not even the, I took it to the airport and did 230 miles per hour service. That's almost double for that.
That's another service?
Mm-hmm. Remember, kids, when you buy a supercar, you're actually buying 2 of them. The one you drive and the one you service. Because of the way the wheels and tires are designed, the way the brakes are designed, they're meant to hold up to a high-speed event and come down from it safely, but reel only once or twice. So if you take these things that are maximum speed and then come off, like you're pretty much going through the tires right away, you're going through the brake pads right away. The oil is gonna get to a temperature that starts to degrade. All of these things that's designed to be able to do, it does, but everything around it is basically a consumable and you're just consuming really fast.
Are you telling me the reason we haven't hit 300 mile an hour on a street car yet is because of tires and oil?
Definitely on the tire side, that was definitely a constraint for a long time. On the oil side, not so much, they've got that figured out. It just makes it really, really expensive. A lot of the most expensive cars out there have specialized technicians that are the ones that not only have to do this, but like this service, you pretty much have to ship this back to Bugatti. And so, on top of all of this, think about the air freight to send your Chiron back to the motherland of where it came from, and then have it shipped back to you.
Oh my goodness.
$8,000 for a set of tires, $2,000 a tire. That seems like all right.
Is that all right, really?
Well, the thing that's crazy is you got to replace the wheels. What? That's nuts.
So if these wheels, which are meant to be lightweight and still structural and strong though, there's a hairline crack in one of them, you don't want that to come apart when you're going 220, 230 miles
So
per
is
hour.
the metal degrading over time?
Not necessarily, it's more of a check. Like this is definitely more what you would consider preventative maintenance, I guess.
Got you. Okay.
It's just very expensive.
The thing I'm thinking of is, yo, let me be the guy who tests that out.
Exactly, I was gonna say, I was gonna say the same thing.
I'm
gonna learn how to do that, just to test it out though.
Yeah, you do the oil
I think you do all the work, I'll test drive it. I'll be like,
let me do a little test.
I like it.
It's not worth it, people. Buy old Toyotas.
We need to join a league for some redneck.
Yeah.
Look at that! Yeah! Dude, that's so cool.
And I was just thinking about that the other day.
And to use a drill motor for that, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
That's perfect, because then hit it, spins around, take off all the shit, spin it around, do the other side. I would just be spinning that for no reason at one point. Whoever makes a clock out of that is badass.
Oh, dude, that would be pretty wild.
You see the motor is like, what time is it? I don't know, the cam's at
The
like
valve covers over it.
3:30?
Yeah.
3:30-ish?
They do make engine stands where you could like hand crank
Yeah.
it for it to go around, but they're expensive.
They're up there.
They're pretty pricey, and I don't think you can get one of those at Harbor
See,
Freight, though.
but once again, you see, like, these people come up with it because you don't have all the fancy tools.
You make it work.
You make it work. You build it yourself. That's tight. I give props to everybody that does like that.
Let's roll into that next clip.
Oh, yeah.
It's a battery.
We gotta learn something from them. Look at that.
Hey, he's rebuilding batteries.
Yeah. Like a champ. With their.
Satisfying.
I'm gonna start wearing sandals too. It's like something like more power or more manly or.
Wow.
You know what's funny? Everybody's gonna say you do everything, but I used to do that.
Rebuild batteries?
Yeah, batteries, and I used to solder all the radiators, repair them, and all that, save them.
That's just the culture now, though. Like, you just replaced, you don't repair
you don't
anymore.
repair.
Lead acid batteries have cells in them, and each cell is going to have a positive and negative plate. You're going to have a separator, and then you're going to have an electrolyte. And what happens is we're turning chemical energy into electrical energy, and it is a transfer of electrons from one side to the other. And once one side has emptied out its electrons, it's dead, right? And then when you recharge it, the electrons are coming back to the other side. Over time, you'll start to get a slow crank because you start to build resistive material. Then you end up with less and less current. That's where you start to get slow cranks, dim lights, and all of that. So sometimes batteries will give you some hints as to when they're starting to go bad. Sometimes it just happens like that.
This guy knows what he's doing. They know what they're doing. They're actually selling that probably to you guys. And you guys are like, oh no, this is brand new. Like, no, bro, like somebody repaired it, somebody saved it, somebody brought it back to life.
Super legit. He resealed the battery. I mean, look at the terminals too. The mold, it looks like clean. Yeah.
It's sexy and everything.
Let's let those electrons flow into the next clip.
Let's charge into the next clip.
Oh, that was better.
He looks like he was wearing sandals.
Ay, caramba.
Dirt Suzuki, and he looked like he was wearing sandals.
I was gonna say,
Going on.
Let's see the sandals. Yeah.
You never see an actual geyser. It just looks like gas. That might actually be refrigerant with a lot of dye.
Ugh.
Like a lot of dye.
Maybe he was looking for the leak and then he found it.
That's one of the things you never do. Let the car cool down, my dude. Probably the head gaskets are blown, compression's coming out through the radiator, so it's ready to shoot out. As soon as you open that cap, that's what would happen. You don't want that shit all over your face.
Those are like second, third degree burns.
Yeah, they hurt.
You're going to the hospital.
They hurt.
How do you know that?
I fucked up.
Next clip.
Two old ass men racing.
Oh no! Damn, he just busted a Mustang right there.
He fucked up the other guy too?
Oh yeah!
Okay, I think they raced. Grandpa on the right didn't warm up his tires. Grandpa on the left forgot to drift off of that. Watch, you should
Yeah.
have drifted off right there. F you. I think the guy in the right still got out. Oh yeah, it's the guy in the right because he banked him.
Oh man, and then he's like, oh, oops.
I'm back.
Oops. I'm gonna assume maybe he broke traction when he shifted and he tried to overcompensate.
You're power shifting, and if those tires are slippery and you don't have control of that, that's the problem.
You never chirp gears when you shifted?
Yeah, you do, but not a lot. If you didn't burn
You don't drive a lot of
tires.
fast cars,
I
Andrew?
do. I do.
I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Put that on.
I'm just kidding.
She's taunting me, guys. If you guys want to see me race her,
Leave
let
it in
us
the
know.
comments.
Nah, but that's what I think happened. That they didn't burn out, and then the weather makes a big difference.
Yeah.
If it's early in the morning, the moisture, it's cold. The tires are not like actually gripping.
The compound of the tire, it's like a pencil eraser, and so the colder rubber is, the harder it is, and so you'll lose traction so much easier. When the rubber is warm, it's nice and sticky and grippy.
Whenever you see people actually race, you can see strips of tire markings because you can grip. Right there, like concrete, probably was still like slippery. He got nervous, lost it, and slammed into the Humvee.
All right. What do we got here? Oh! Oh my goodness. That looks a little broke.
They rolled that till the wheels fell off.
In this case, I mean, he had to have heard grinding for a long, long time before it got to this point.
He just turned that music up.
Yeah, on the radio.
I mean, that's like 100,000 miles on that thing.
And once again, it depends if it could have been a couple miles if the brake shoe itself
Just
broke.
came off and it's only
'cause
metal.
It happens. Parts
Yeah.
are not like all perfect. You know, sometimes they break off. But he's been scraping the out of that. I don't know. That's pretty nasty.
That's wild.
Customer probably said, nah, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not going to fix it. Oh, gosh. We get that all the time.
Sounds like a lot of money. From a standpoint for a shop, like I would tell them, change the rotors, the brakes. You know what? Depending how bad you the seals on the caliper, just switch that out too. And then if he's neglecting that, what else does he have?
All right, well, this is awful. I would not want to be driving with that guy behind me. That's for sure.
I wouldn't want anyone I know on the road with this person.
Dude, that's what blows my mind too, is you see videos like this, and then every time after we shoot real mechanic stuff, I'm driving home, I'm looking at other cars on the road, I'm like, what's wrong with that one? What have they been forgetting to do?
Yeah.
Have they changed their brakes? And
It's sketchy. It's sketchy.
We're on
It's
the
really
road
sketchy.
with lunatics.
Yeah. You guys are crazy. That's bright enough. I can't even see that. Whoa, wow. Wow.
Oh boy. Yeah, as if driving that lifted truck wasn't enough of a signal that you're an ass. You had to put the lights on the wheels.
It's probably one of our short kings driving that. You know what? That's a lot of lights, even for me. Like, come on now.
I don't even know how you get the lights on the wheels because the wheels are spinning.
Okay.
And it looks like the wheels are attached, or the lights are attached to the wheels somehow.
Okay, so on the actual rotor, there's like a shield that protects all the dust from coming in. So you usually modify it and you attach that. That doesn't spin.
Okay.
So everything else spins. So you put the lighting right there, and then you get the light show right there. So you know what? This is probably cool when you're off-roading.
The driver of that truck has never taken that truck off-roading in their life.
Is this legal or illegal?
That's totally legal. There are all kinds of restrictions on what kind of lights can be on the side, as well as the size of the lights and the brightness of the lights. And this clearly exceeds all of that.
Just turn the switch off, my dude. We know you're cool. Let me get that next clip. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
a little sexy. So right there, look at that.
Okay. Okay. Hey! Oh, wow.
Oh, let punch that motherfucker there. Bang.
I just took it out on it.
That's a stress relief.
No, Mom, I won't clean my room.
Yeah.
Now.
So a 19.5 will be like this. Like, it won't be like this flat. It'll be like this, tapered, like that. So when you throw that tire in, it'll slide in there smoothly. And then this side too will slide in there smoothly. And that's why you could be able to pop it in really fast because there's no actual lip like this. It's not a bad way he's doing it. He's actually doing it pretty tight.
Like utilizing the weight of the wheel to...
Yeah, that's actually probably like a tire shop, so he's doing it the right way. It just, they're putting that foot to work. I could do that if you guys want me to. Oh, he up a little. Where's Sandra going?
Auto shop secret reviled. Again, another typo. Oh. That's
tight. That's tight.
Dude, that's kind of sick. And that's torque too. It's like the torque wrench.
No, truly any bolt, any nut that you can't fit a socket onto and you need to use a wrench, it's kind of because if there's torque specs for it and you're trying to do things right for once and you're trying to torque things, this is a super cool doohickey. I don't even know what that is, but I want one. Even just extensions, depending on the size of the extension, will throw off how accurate your torque spec is. So I truly wonder how accurate that is, but if it's close enough, I think that's legit.
The fact that you're trying to get to the right torque spec probably puts you ahead of most already.
Yeah, because I would have just done it like,
We're good. We're good. I think this is a Mustang, and I've definitely been able to fit my impact gun there instead of having to do that. So, whack.
So what we're hearing is that Nolan just no torque specs.
That's dope.
What do you think? Whack or legit?
I think it's cool.
Legit.
Legitness.
What in cousin?
Is that that's a pallet?
Alabama Betty Crocker. Miss Betty, what shit is this?
Was that a Bud Light? Oh,
Hold
wow.
on. Wow. Okay.
It's cool and creepy at the same time. It's fucking creepy at the same time. Imagine that coming down the road.
It's like if I'm out in the middle of nowhere and I saw that, I'm
that.
pulling over. You can go past, man.
He just needs a little doll hanging in the
I
front.
know, yeah. So we've got a pallet being used as radiator support. A reservoir that's a Fireball bottle. First off, you lose points for it being Fireball.
Mechanically, it looks like everything's functioning tight.
But look at that on the front, dude. That's a little
See, I told you
crazy.
something
You're right.
creepy.
It is
Something
a little
creepy.
big.
What is that movie? The one where they
Jeepers Creepers?
Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah,
that
it's a
reminds me of
creepy guy. I knew exactly where you're going with
some
that.
real You
It's
better
a
have
little
nitrous if you're in front of this fool. This was chasing you.
I'm not scared. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna brake truck the crap out of him. It's gonna collapse that pallet, bust his radiator. He's gonna overheat. I just need to wait it out.
And her little Civic like this and that behind her. That gerbil is gonna get eaten by that.
I may or may not be able to take this guy, but I'm pretty sure I could take your Civic.
Oh, let me get a next clip.
This next clip features the ultimate hack for when you don't have the right tool for the job. Let's see what it is.
Oh my goodness, dude, that dude's yoked. Look at that
What a
dude.
strong man!
Look at that dude's arms.
Oh my god!
He's got pythons. He has a literal python, I
Look
think.
how f***ing strong he is!
Come on, bro. Whoa.
I love this dude.
Don't shoot me no mother trans. I won't pick it up.
This guy is the hack. No one else should ever try this at home. Transmissions are so heavy.
That's so crazy.
Do not do this unless
Come on.
you're this
Okay.
man.
Now the problem is, like you were just saying, well, the dude did it in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Why can't you?
Because I'm not swollen like that, my dude.
He's got
See that
20
fool's
years.
Arms.
He's got 20 years of going to the gym
Yeah,
in those biceps. Would you say getting big is gonna help you around the shop very much?
It'll help you lift that up, but try to get under the steering wheel. No.
So is it a hack? Yes, but not that great of one.
Yeah.
This guy's legit. I would never call him whack in any capacity because I'm afraid of him.
He might shove you in there instead of transmission.
How to trigger a mechanic.
Oh.
Ah!
Oh, no. No.
You're doing that.
Oh.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Ah, yeah, I'm triggered. Jesus.
Oh, let that dangle. Nice.
Very nice. Yeah, really nice.
Oh.
What can go wrong there?
What
We come. Oh.
Nice.
Oh, come on. It's a serious
seen
matter.
That. No
a
lie, I
carcinogen.
seen that.
For those of you who don't know why you should be very careful about getting brake grease or any grease on a surface where your brake pads are gonna touch, it will lock up your brakes. It acts like, if you will, surfboard wax. Wax is slippery, but then when you get it wet, it helps you grip the surfboard. Sorry, I'm all grip the surfboard. Any type of fluid or grease on brake pads, it'll get really grippy. Hanging by the brake line.
Yeah, that's nasty.
You'll damage the brake line, you'll end
Yeah.
up with a brake leak, which, you know, sounds like an inconvenience, but it's actually a huge safety hazard. If you spring a leak in your brake system at all, you're gonna lose that whole circuit. Now, most modern systems have 2 hydraulic circuits, but you're gonna lose 2 out of your 4 brakes, and I don't know about you, but
It's not fun.
I mean, it's probably important to be able to stop. We always had like old wire hangers that we would have lying around that
Yeah,
we
I-
would just keep it held up by.
Some string, whatever.
Bungee cord.
As
You
long as you don't
definitely
let
don't
it
wanna,
hang.
yeah, you don't wanna let it hang.
I like the beard.
That's very
I wish I could grow a beard. Oh,
Whoa.
that's dumb, but I done that. I was doing it actually to loosen up the gun because it was so stiff. And then I hit it and that shot up. And I was like, why was I even holding it? The am I doing it? I'm like, oh.
Like
you were
you're gonna
trying
be
to turn it.
stronger than the
I'm like,
impact.
I was trying to turn it. Have you ever opened one of those guns?
I haven't.
There's a bunch of little holes, like a little valve like this, with a bunch of holes that shoots it in there. I was loosening it up and I was like, oh, it's pretty tight. So I'm like, I put more oil, let me clean it. So then it was still stuck, but it's because I sandwiched it wrong. I put it wrong in the bearing. I didn't even put it on, so it was like touching. And I was jimmying it the whole time, and then it shot out, went boom. And I was like, oh, same thing that happened to him, except I didn't hit nothing because it went into the air. And then watching it right now, I'm like, I'm done. That would have slapped me in the face. You usually could open those and repair them. They charge you so much. Snap-on charges you a lot of money to do that, but it's not that crazy. It's just like, it's one gasket in the middle and a bunch of little seals. and
Yeah,
that's it.
I've only had mine warranted, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we don't have that luxury. We repair those ourselves.
We forget sometimes how strong certain tools that we use are in our brains, thinking that you're stronger than the
He
impact.
looks pretty strong though.
He does look like a strong guy.
Like Paul Bunyan. Be careful with air tools or any tools.
Power tools are only as dangerous as the person using them. Be careful when you're using power tools. Let's go to that next clip. Oh God. No. I never recommend anybody do that.
So you usually use a spring compressor, right?
The right way to do that would be to use a spring compressor. If you're at home, you can go rent one from AutoZone. They clamp on the spring and then you use a bolt that will pull the 2 clamp arms together. Even if you think you're gonna avoid a fail and you think you've got it, oh, it's gonna shoot off over there. Springs on a strut have an incredible amount of stored force. You could really, really hurt yourself or anybody else that's nearby or damage something. I don't ever recommend doing this.
As a business owner, if you hit that Lincoln right there,
Right.
I mean, say that bolt just taps the door, that owner's gonna be f***ing pissed.
The right way to do this would be with proper tools. So don't do sketchy stuff like that, kids.
Oh, shit, somebody's f***ing here. Oh,
Damn.
beard. Well, that wouldn't happen to me since I don't have so, I mean,
You're safe there.
I'm good.
I know when my beard hairs get ripped out, it's
Let's just say you're wearing like a hoodie with the little straps.
Oh yeah, the little
And
stringies.
if you're not paying attention, anything that's spinning and it grabs on, it'll f you up.
I'd say the worst is creepers on the ground. Yeah, if I got lazy or like a ponytail was hanging out, every single time I'm on a creeper, something happens like that.
Every time I'm on one, I have zero control. It's like a turtle. Like I'm an upside down turtle, and I'm like, I can't get off.
Being realistic, it happens. Whether it be a lathe, impact gun, actual motor, just about anything. So be careful. Can I see his beard again?
At least that guy got a clean cut.
Now he has to even it out. He has to do the other side.
Big beard I got.
Majestic.
Stop it.
You're blushing.
Let me shave into that next clip.
Whoa!
Knocked the hair out of his head. You gotta watch out with those cars. Even though it's been in an accident, that doesn't mean those airbags won't deploy. They can still deploy, especially if it has some type of current, you forgot to disconnect something, and then the battery's still in there, and you activate it, oh, it'll still knock the hair off of you.
It's like finding unexploded ordnance, what we call it in the military, a mortar or a mine, something that's just laying out in the desert or something. Don't touch it. Maybe it just didn't have just enough
That
contact to detonate, maybe your foot hitting it will. You got to be really careful with that because essentially that's what airbags are.
Yeah.
A small explosion.
Okay, so we got a high pressure power steering line that is Mickey Mouse clamped. You don't want to do that.
That's trash.
Yeah.
Welded
Surge tank
rod.
bracket welded to the chassis.
Welded rods onto
that's,
it.
That right there, way too much piston to wall clearance,
Yeah.
freshly rebuilt. Yeah.
YouTube bracket.
So the intercooler is not actually being held on by the bracket, only
Levitated.
probably by the fitting on the tubes.
Levitating like Chris Angel with her like magic.
Let's back up to that oil drain for the turbo because
That's
that
just
is
up.
nuts. Okay, turbos get oiled through the engine's oiling system, especially the aftermarket turbos, and usually you'll have some sort of drain coming from that turbo routed through to the oil pan, and they've got like a Connects Lego set version of this with some hose clamps.
That whole thing is gross. Somebody give me a bucket. I understand like this Jimmy together, but that's Jimmy's brother. that don't fly. That's when you don't go back.
Right.
Just have him fix
Yeah.
it, and now you know that you can't that mechanic.
Right.
That's it. Like that's not your mechanic. Because if he couldn't do a simple job like that, then he's really not gonna do something bigger.
Because you're putting a lot of trust in
Yeah.
somebody, especially if you're not a mechanic or a specialist
Yeah.
yourself. You're trusting that they know what they're doing and they're being honest with you.
Once you find a good mechanic, stick to him, even if he charges a lot.
You figure it is a skilled trade, so don't go for the cheapest work, go for the fairest work.
Yeah.
What's a fair price to pay somebody for their skill and their time?
And it depends, because you're talking about an RB26. You're not gonna get a lot of mechanics to work on those.
Yeah, it's kind of a specialty deal.
Yeah, that's really hard. So you're gonna pay top dollar. If not, you're gonna get that.
Okay, covering
Oh,
the license
shit.
plate. That's a no-go. And okay,
Wow.
you cannot see. How do you drive that?
That is a real good question.
Do you put tint on your cars?
I do, but not like that. The front windshield is over dramatic. Like that's exaggerate. I don't know what you're doing. Well, I know what you're doing.
Just use your imagination, because Sandro's not going to tell you. Not surprisingly, you cannot have a huge obstruction in your front windshield, and usually you can't put tinting on the front windshield at all. This has basically blacked out the front, and if I were wearing sunglasses, I think on the inside of that car, I'd be able to see out of it.
That's the weirdest. So I just imagine somebody with sunglasses with the tinted windows. Like, were you serious? What are you, Blade? Legal or not legal?
Yeah, that is very illegal.
Yeah, okay, you heard it. Don't tint the out of your cars. Let me get the next clip. Saab.
Wow. Okay, I like that. I really like that.
It's history. And not because Saab is out of business.
That is so sick. Why don't we have that now?
What happened was the windshield, take two, the headlight wipers were an EU regulation.
Why?
Because it snowed a lot and somebody said headlight wipers are a good idea. If you look very carefully on the left-hand side at the top, it has a washer nozzle.
Oh,
See it?
that little guy right up
Spurting-
there.
Spurting juice all over the headlight. But they went away because what they found was they were mechanically complex. Brought a lot of cost. And what you see now in a lot of cars, you'll see next to the headlight a little round thing which pops up, and they have high-pressure washers that do the
Yeah.
exact same thing.
And that's what I've seen now with Audis, you know, BMWs. You see them a lot now.
And they just basically displace the wipers.
I like
Remember,
this invention.
this came from Scandinavia, and even though it's not a Scandinavian country, it's next door, Finland. Finland has a wonderful washer fluid, and look this up, everybody. Google this when you have a chance. It's called Super Piss Blue.
Are you me right now, Bob?
I am not joking.
Super Piss Blue.
Super Piss Blue.
Does it look like piss?
No, but it's blue and it's pretty super.
All right.
There you go.
Super Piss Blue.
It's great stuff, I tell you.
It looks like we have some hydrophobics.
Oh.
This is the ceramic coating from the dealership, but we're going to put it through a torture test. We're going to show you why it's not a legitimate ceramic coating. Ceramic coating is a hardened form of protection. We're going to use some super clean here. It should be resistant to this. Coatings are chemically resistant. So we're going to put this all over the surface. We go back through and we start to rinse. And this driver's side panel, the hydrophobics are already gone. We've already killed the coating because, let's be honest, it's not a coating. It's just a sealant.
I mean, let's be real. It's some of the they sell you is bull. Am I right, Juanito? Sometimes, like, let's just say, I feel like I'm putting my boy on blast, but it's like you go to the dealer and they tell you, well, guess what? We could powder coat your rims, and somebody in the back just rattle canning your right? And then they say, you know what? We could wrap it with this coating that'll protect it from the sun, a hawk landing on it, or some bum just on your car. It's gonna protect it. At the end of the day, it's all.
They also offer it for interiors, and it's also what you said.
All of a sudden, you just want to say it.
I'm gonna openly say that this is probably gonna be something from like sales.
You see some guys at the dealer, they're all lined up and with their beard,
wearing suits,
hair to the side, and it's like perfect. Man, like Hugo, you're like, dang, you smell juicy, my dude. And then you buy this for no reason. You know what? Let me sell you guys some other and the next clip too.
Sam Amolo here for Tornado. With today's high fuel prices, you need all the help you can get with fuel economy, and that's exactly what the Tornado does. It installs easily and immediately improves drivability and fuel mileage. Easy to install, put it right inside the intake duct, slide the duct back, and that's it. Never needs maintenance and lasts for a lifetime.
Never need maintenance.
Tornado creates a vortex in your intake manifold, atomizing the fuel better, just like the Tornado in this bottle.
Just like that tornado. If you want a tornado too.
It looks like a potato cutter.
It does.
If it doesn't work for your car, you could also make some fucking food.
I think what they're saying is that, like, okay, the air coming through is gonna spin the fan, which is gonna create this sort of turbulence. What determines the airflow characteristics is going to be after the throttle body anyways. It's the design of your intake. Whatever this tiny little fan is doing is gonna be completely outdone by the design of your intake manifold and your cylinder head and mainly your combustion chamber.
Maybe their method, the way they made it, it might twist it, but I don't see it.
This is after the filter, right?
Yeah, so it's like...
Sorry, I can't help myself. What if it breaks?
That's a good one. What if it does break and then it shatters in there?
I think we should test it out.
Let's go do this.
Data for hours.
What's up? All right. So let's turbocharge this shit, right? So, Tony drove this with a full tank of gas without the Tornado installed. Now we installed it this time. He's gonna do the same thing, drive everywhere. He's gonna do his math because I don't know about it. He knows, he's gonna do all his science work. And hopefully the Tornado saves him gas like it says it does. Let's give it a shot.
Hey, Tony, let's reveal those results of that Tornado fuel saver test.
Here they are. My stock Nissan Versa 2009 vintage, sexy, I know. I drove 116 miles and consumed 5.102 gallons, resulting in a MPG average of 22.73. So Sandra installed the Tornado, and I recreated my exact driving steps for 115 miles, and it consumed 5.15 gallons, resulting in an average fuel efficiency of 22.32 miles per gallon, a change of minus 1.8%.
So it's a scam.
Straight scam.
This bothers me. What are they showing Aston Martin for? Look, put a Miata. Put a Miata up there. Put a Miata up there.
Look what they've done.
A horrible thing has been done to it.
That's owned by our showrunner Tony behind the camera.
I love this car. It's the only one in North or South America. We think there's only like 4 of them in the world.
It's great. It's great. It needs a paint job to get rid of the white butt.
And you need to get different wheels.
The wheels, though, look a lot like some Aston Martin wheels,
That
which is
is
just
true.
multi-thin spoke. I don't think these wheels are as appalling as you believe they are.
I think they're appalling. That's just me. I'm a big wheel nerd.
But do you ever have black wheels on any of your cars?
No.
Okay, because if you did, I'd say you know nothing about wheels.
No, I never buy black wheels. What about a white wheel?
White wheels are on off-road vehicles and stock cars.
They look good though.
On off-road vehicles and stock cars. Absolutely right.
You know who else wants to put white wheels on it?
Who?
Sandro.
See? White wheels look good.
I'll tell you, I actually had a white wheel once. And it sat in the living room, and I had a piece of glass on the top. It was a table.
I have a few of those tables in my house.
It was perfect in white. I actually think this is way cool.
What do you think of the no pop-up look?
I was one of the few guys that didn't want to put pop-ups on the original Miata.
Really?
I had two design areas where I disagreed with the direction they went. I would have liked some sort of fixed headlight, and I would have liked if they had put the number plate down in the bumper and kept the panel in the rear simple.
That's a hot take, Bob. I wasn't expecting that. For you to be a non-pop-up guy.
One thing I like about it, the pop-up headlights were round. Remember they were starting to do square pop-ups?
Yeah.
There's something about round headlights and car eyes I like. I don't know what it is.
Bob, do you have a favorite body kit that's ever been on a Miata from Mazda or any other aftermarket company?
Do you hear the crickets? What I like the most is I like the lip, the little
R package
that
lip.
was supposed to be on all cars. The simpler a car design is, the longer it will last.
The heat is on for South Africa's
Do you know what's
party.
crazy?
It looks like a James Bond movie, but the inventor of the blast
that guy was
system,
just
Charles
lit on
Fury,
fire?
believes he's found a way to deal with carjackers.
Now, have you ever installed a flamethrower?
Have I ever installed a flamethrower?
Actually, yeah, don't answer that question.
Hey, you see? Some advice.
Lawyers have to deal with law as written in statutes. So someone sat down and said this specific thing is illegal, and then we also have to deal with sort of general principles that cover just really stupid things in general. I don't know if there is a specific law in California that says you cannot install a flamethrower on your car. Probably because very few people have been dumb enough to try to do it. Now, assuming that there isn't a specific law that says you can't install a horizontal facing anti-personnel flamethrower on your car, you're just dealing with the normal principles of law that deal with probably the use of flamethrowers. Now, this appears to be a manually operated flamethrower. They pressed a button that sent flames out the sides.
Right.
So yeah, to me that is basically like would you be allowed to drive down the road while also having one hand on a flamethrower that shoots out the window? And the answer is almost certainly no, you can't do that, and you're going to be liable for assault with a deadly weapon and all kinds of intentional torts when you light people on fire.
Okay, so guys, you could install side exhaust and burn people down?
That's not what I'm saying at all.
Nah, I'm just lame.
You've learned nothing from this.
So,
let me just stop you right there. It's all illegal. It's incredible. The Legal Eagle seal of illegality times 10.
Don't burn people, I guess.
I approve that message, and only that message.
Oh, he's hopping.
That thing bouncing. Oh my God!
Why they're all running? Oh!
Fire in the back.
Oh!
Burn. Oh man, God. That's a good fire.
That lit up fast.
That's gonna be hard to put out.
Yeah.
You definitely want to keep your fire
That's already like in the front seats.
Oh yeah, without
that
a
spread
doubt.
fast.
Interior headliner gone. And it's starting
Boom,
to get up.
boom, and then there's that. You see, there's like some sort of little implosion inside.
That was the flash.
Yeah, there's a flash.
The solenoids, they do melt, burn. Battery can become loose. The battery hold down can move and slide and arc out. I mean, there's so many different things that you can do. If it's not tight enough, they could cause a fire in lowrider. You definitely need to keep that fire extinguisher on you.
Any project car at all, not even just a lowrider, track car, drift car.
A lot of times
fire
it'll come
extinguisher.
out. You can just throw your shirt on there and put it out, but that immediately, that escalated quickly.
But I mean, that happens. That's part of the sport. They build them to hop them, and when you hop in a car, everything's moving. And if the batteries ain't charged right, and they make an arc too, that sucks.
When you run hydraulic systems, you're running multiple batteries depending on what you're doing. In this circumstance, he can hop it, so I'm assuming he has at least 5.
He's probably got, I would imagine, 16 batteries minimum in the trunk of that car.
That's a lot of batteries.
Should have been getting up a little bit higher. I've had probably at least a good 20 fires. And at one time dipping down the street, yeah, my buddy's honking at me. I'm like waving back at him.
You're like,
but
yo.
Then I start to smell it. It almost, to me, it smells like when you open a brand new box of sneakers is how I recognize the smell. So you'll dip and you know you're on fire. I can always tell when my buddy's been driving down the street, hitting the switch a bunch because he pulls up and you can smell it. Next clip.
Oh, we got a semi blowing flames out the exhaust onto what looks like hay bale.
What?
That's
what
not good.
The hell?
How does something like that happen?
Is that rolls of like alfalfa or something? What is that?
Not. I mean,
it looks highly combustible.
It does,
whatever the hell it
It's
is.
the right, it's the right color to be extremely flammable.
I think he's lost a turbine and oil seal.
So oil's just going directly into the hot side of the turbo.
Yeah.
Igniting and going out the exhaust.
The orange flame the flame color is kind of suspect.
Pretty intense.
Yeah. If it was fuel or oil, it should be darker, I would think. Hey, buddy, got a light? I want to see a mile down the road.
That must have caught fire or something.
Don't tease me like this.
Wheel well of flames. Oh, damn.
That was having a bad day.
Holy smokes. How is he even veering off? I guess one wheel is working, but that's wild. I mean, you could only do that if it's rear wheel drive, of course. Still, very impressive nonetheless.
I know he knows that shit's on fire. Dick, he could burn the harness. He could.
Yeah, he's already done a lot of damage, I think, with the flames that large.
Yeah.
Maybe the material, the tires caught on fire. I actually wonder if...
The wheel well cover.
Did you know that brake fluid is not normally flammable, but when you heat it up, it becomes flammable? Yeah.
But to get it like that, damn, you've been driving for a cool, at least a solid hour. The plastic cover your wheel well is on fire. That's probably like about $120. The tire, even if you get it, that's a 20 or 18. I want to say that's used 80, $100. The wheel, easy 200.
That rotor's toasted already.
About
That bearing's
50.
overheated now.
Brakes. You don't have any brakes?
You don't have any brakes.
You're easy like $1,000. And that's the paint job.
Yeah.
Just to get you back on the road. And to your mission, wherever the you're going.
His wife called him and said, "Who the is Yolanda?"
Oh, shit. He didn't even give a about the wheel. The wheel, there's probably no wheel on it. He's like, I'm going home. I'll be down to ride on this F-150 all day.
Sandra's always down.
Even like that. Because it'll look cool. For the boys, you know that.
For the boys.
But would you ride that?
You know what, just for funsies, maybe.
She's cool.
Sometimes.
Oh. Let's check out this next product. Holy.
Interesting.
That's pretty tight.
Okay.
That's pretty tight. Because that seat didn't even get fucked up at all.
It almost, like the fire looks real, but the way it puts it out is pretty trippy.
It looks fake to me.
I know, the way it
looks fake to me. Like the way he sets it up.
Here's what's going on with the chemistry. The way they lit this fire was they used this stuff called light gas, which is a very low temperature burning fuel, very cold burning fire, and so it also goes out quickly.
Really quickly, okay. Yeah, so then that makes sense.
And this other part was brought to you by Tony Guy, the science guy.
Tony the science guy. Tony. Science rules.
Okay, I want to see that. Let's see it. Okay, first alert. Easy fire spray. I want to see the whole mix.
Money shot.
Scammer legit.
Will you use this, or you think it's a scam?
So I'm gonna have to take a neutral on this one because I have to try this in real life, which is illegal on camera in where we are.
50-50. If I'm on fire and I die because of a fire, just know this won't work out. Okay, it didn't work.
All right, we got a debeaded tire.
Yeah, that's nice.
Wow, that was smooth.
That was smooth.
Wow.
I think you're right. That was sexy right there.
Wow. Yeah, normally you clear out all that dirt and get stuff out of the way before you try to beat it, but that tire is most of the way off.
That's a manly man right there.
Whoa, okay. Never seen...
You've never seen that?
I've never seen the tire be that far off or like...
That's a little wicked, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy that it worked.
Oh, it was a full-on stick.
That's a real man right there.
We did this a couple years ago when we were building our Tacomas, putting the tires on our wheels there. Brake clean, bunch of that in there, light it up. It science happens and fills the tire, and then you do have to keep filling the tire with air.
Yeah.
That'll only seat the bead onto the rim. You do have to continue filling it with air because of that flame, there's no air in there anymore. So.
Oh, he already has air.
Pumping it.
Damn,
this was good. This was good. Props to you.
Yeah.
You have to be careful with a lot of things. You have to be careful with your surroundings. Make sure that nothing around is gonna catch on fire. You have to be careful of yourself. Make sure you're not gonna catch on fire. And this isn't a tried and true hack that's gonna happen. That's gonna work every time.
Takes practice. It's a pretty common hack to use fire like that to pop a bead on, but this is a whole new level. That's a flex.
That's a man.
Is this a good hack? Yes, it's tried and proven. Is it dangerous? Yes, if you don't do it right, you can get in some trouble. Is it whack?
Not at all.
Legitness.
Okay.
Oh, that is ice, man.
The fire department says the driver told them her GPS directed her to drive onto the canal.
Oh, no.
But the car fell into the water, and witnesses rushed to help the woman out. Police say no injuries were reported, but the driver was arrested for drunk driving.
That'll happen.
Wait, can we go back? Is that somebody ice skating?
Yeah! Someone's skating along.
Oh my God.
When you take a turn and you see other people playing hockey on the road you're on, you might have made a wrong turn.
She was drunk.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point.
And she could have been, look at all these idiots.
What are you guys doing? Get off the road.
That's a scary situation, falling through the ice like that, too.
One of the most sobering moments you could have. You thought you're on a road, and all of a sudden...
Do you know how to tell if ice is safe to drive on?
What ice skaters do is they use an auger to drill down into the ice and see how thick it is.
If I were to drive on ice, and if I had to, I would definitely drive with the windows down. If you fall through, at least you have an exit.
I never want to be in that situation. But I do want to be in this situation, being in this video. Let's watch our next clip.
Customer states scraping noise after driving through snow.
Oh,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah. I know what that noise is.
Yep. Oh, here we go.
This must have been during the winter or something. Duh. First of all, duh. Never mind. I'm not even gonna finish that sentence.
Nolan. So this was in summer.
This was in the summer, clearly. No, but I'm surprised that this even okay, you drive through the snow and then you start having problems. Conceivably, that's for like a few days, right?
Yeah.
I'm just surprised that it stayed there for that long. That's all I'm trying to say. Ice and snow is nuts because it's like you'll have a major problem and then it'll just disappear.
You would figure the friction of the drive shaft spinning and keep it kind of warm, like slap it off or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I guess not.
It's not really going to cause a lot of damage because it'll eat away at it or whatever, but it is probably very unpleasant.
It's probably noisy. I jumped in my car one time and was heading to like a school event or something at night. And I mean, I had this crazy vibration. I was like, what is going on? And I made it to where I used to work and I pulled over and was like looking around, trying to figure it out. And then I went and drove it again and it was gone. Some of the old guys that lived out there, they're like, oh, you probably just had ice sitting on the bottom of the inside of the wheel.
Yeah.
So threw the balance off.
Yeah, it threw the balance off.
The tires unbalanced.
As soon as I stopped and the car was hot, it melted and disappeared.
Yeah.
That's
how much would you charge to fix this?
How much would I charge to fix that?
Yeah.
See, I'm gonna have a little snowman outside, first of all. I'll add an oil rotation and oil change. I'm gonna make it seem like everything destroyed in the back.
People still come to your business after watching these videos?
Nah, I wouldn't charge you nothing. I got you.
Whoa.
Yuck. This is like scary rust right here.
Oh!
You're not supposed to be able to poke your finger through the frame.
I call that a turd wagon.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, very nice. Turd wagon.
See, that's an example of a Northeast car. The winters just beat up the bottom of your car. You could see, like, the rocker panel. That's where all that moisture just stayed a year after year. I mean, that's probably a 2010.
Not everywhere dumps salt on the roads, but if they do, salt makes a car rust real bad.
Yeah, yeah.
You sandblast a car to remove paint. If you do that with salt on the road, kind of does the same thing, and when you have the bare metal exposed with the elements, it starts to rust.
How do you prevent something like this?
Get a car wash every single day.
Every day?
Every single day.
Every day.
Every day.
The only preventive measure you can do is you could spray wax into these cavities and then keep washing the car out, but basically just keep washing the salt and grime off as best as you can.
It's not uncommon to buy a car from anywhere in the country and just have it shipped wherever you are. Look at where you're buying the car because that car could have seen salty roads its whole life.
Yeah, I bought a van last year. I was trying to make it into a race van and I didn't realize there's so much rust on the subframe and it kind of snapped in half as I was driving.
Classic race van problem.
Yeah.
What kind of van was it?
Nissan Quest.
It was on a quest to die.
This is being a unibody car. The rocker and everything else is a part of that safety structure of the car. So if you ever get into a side impact, there's nothing there, you're gonna die. That little hole there, that's the interior. That's probably where the seat mounts. So eventually you will fall out of this car and die.
So it's not just cosmetic.
No, the structure of this car is compromised. Get yourself another car.
It's a matter of life and death. Next clip.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a little snowman.
It does look like a snowman, like a little snow beard, like when you're taking a bubble bath and you make a fake bubble bath beard.
Or the song, do you want to build a snowman?
That's
Do
really
you
funny.
want to come and play? It looks double cheeked up. You see, it's all double cheeked up.
It is cheeked up. Look at that. That thing's thick.
To me, the back's always been like a face and the front is a face because when you're driving and you're looking at
That's
it.
what you're seeing.
So you're seeing like, to me right now, I'm seeing like big cheeks because they got stung and the little eyes because it's like,
What does he do that with, Sandra?
it could be fiberglass, but it's foam and then fiberglass over it. That's how you normally do like the body kits. They used to do them out of clay. You'll do one fender and then you copy it to this side. So you lay clay and then you trim it down because it's easier to cut down with a little blade. But now what they do is like, you put like cardboard over it and then you just put the foam in there and just inflates to like whatever design you're doing. And then you shape it and then you sand it down, then you put fiberglass if you're gonna make a copy of it or to make it smoother and then bondo, whichever one you want. It don't matter what anybody says. If you like it, that's what it is. It looks,
It's a concept.
Yeah,
it's a concept.
it's the beginning. It's the beginning. Especially if it's your first time, I give you props, bro.
Yeah.
You just said, let me run with it, and you ran with it. Now, where's the lights at?
Yeah, we gotta put those lights back, my guy. We gotta put those lights back.
Yeah, dude, need some lights.
Let's look at that next clip. Oh no! Oh no! Ah! Oh my God! No! Oh my God!
Oh man!
Poor guy.
Oh, I love seeing that. Unfortunate for him, but really fortunate for me to see that. I'm sorry.
Oh no! I'm watching it in reverse.
I want just an edit of him just sliding on the doing that sick little breakdance move. This is you. You just fell. You ate it. You're really pissed, and I gotta clean this big old mess. How would you do it?
Almost everywhere they call it kitty litter, right? Yeah, that's like the slang term. I think that they technically will call it floor dry, but nobody calls it that. Everybody calls it kitty litter.
Yeah, it's kitty litter.
It's more fun to say that.
The point is, it's super absorbent, and that's what you want. You want it to absorb the oil. That way you can just sweep it up and then just spray a little bit of degreaser to get that last remaining like little slimy, oily stuff off.
And in case any feds are watching, you're going to dispose of this floor dry in a proper manner, either at your local auto parts store or somewhere that you're supposed to put that. That's legal. It's definitely not the trash.
I'm coming to your house.
Not the trash.
Bow, 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 bow. Let's break dance to the next clip.
In this next clip, the customer stated that their car runs fine and just needs an oil change. Let's see if that's true.
Typical.
Huh.
It's probably the alternator on that one.
That's it looks like swamp water.
Yeah.
That's what you call swamp.
It's not good when you have a koi pond coming out of your tailpipe.
You got a little leak going on there. The head's blown.
Yeah, big time.
It's blown, and he's been putting coolant in there, and it keeps shooting it out.
Yeah, it's like, oh, my coolant keeps going lower every week.
Low. He sees it in the back, but he's like, it's cool, it's chilling. God knows how long he's been driving it like that. So the cylinder's got water in there, right?
Yeah.
All that corrosion inside the pistons and the head, wherever it went, it it all up.
A machine shop have these special things to put a head on. They put pressure in it and see if it holds pressure.
Gotcha.
So if it holds pressure, great. They can rebuild it. They can, even if it's warped, they can resurface it. So they cut some off of it to make it flat again. And it could be a block. I mean, if they overheat it bad enough, it could be the engine block, same thing. There's not one fix for this issue.
Everybody forgets the block. Don't forget the block, my dude. Take it out, send it, check it, see if the rings are still good. It's easier just to take off the heads and send that get done. Put the head back on and you're like, you're Gucci, and you're not Gucci.
How much you charging?
I want to say like 5 racks. Off the bat.
Jeez.
With a smiley face on my end. Not yours, but maybe my end, yes. Happy as
My rule of thumb is if you're gonna put more than 50% of the value of the car in, it's time to get rid of it.
Gotcha. Cool. Next clip.
That time the coworker put the Tesla in plate mode in the parking lot.
Me.
Ooh.
You good, yo? Like for real?
You good? Wow. Like at this point, it's like you're fired, obviously.
That's really irresponsible, and that level of damage for that car and all the other cars launching the car in a parking lot.
What is plate mode? 'Cause I don't even know what the that is.
Plaid mode.
Plaid. You know,
has that ever happened at the Mercedes dealership where like somebody takes out a Mercedes GT and just spins out and crashes it?
There's always, I'm not gonna say.
No, we almost had him. We almost had him. You saw that, guys? You know, we almost had him. He was about to be like, well, there's a guy named Pancho right here, and then I remember his birthday, and then imagine that's a customer's car and you took it out. You're not allowed to take the car outside?
You're only allowed to take the vehicle, and to be specific, we were always scorned that due to insurance purposes, we could only make rights even in a road test.
Also, like you're going back into the dealership.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Back into the dealership.
How's it right into McDonald's, right out of McDonald's?
As long as it has a right turn, you'll be good.
And right back to the dealership.
But yeah. Next clip.
You are making $500,000 and you were only going to pay me 30? You're getting 30 grand? I'm getting 1,000.
You guys are getting paid?
You know what? When I first started in this industry, I worked for free for like 6 months, and I thought that was 100% me.
You're like,
you guys are getting paid. You got to put in your time, and then you get to work your way up. It does get a little bit, you know, like when people in the air-conditioned offices maybe make more than you, and you're just like, who's really doing the work here?
What the you want me to do today, huh?
Everybody's hair is blowing in the wind of the fan of the AC on a 110-degree day.
You're over there looking like...
Yeah, I come out looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Predator.
What the
Here's one thing I will say. I work with a lot of service managers right now with our apprenticeship program, and those guys are some of the busiest people you will meet. But when the advisors make more than the techs.
You guys can't see it, but right here, she's mad. I can feel the heat radiating off of her. She's like,
Don't forget to pay your techs. That's why everybody's there, right?
All right, yard full of mint GTRs. Oh, we got one that's been sitting.
Baby Godzilla was in the front too.
It looks good on the outside, right? Because that could just be rain and mildew and things like that. Why are we guessing? Let's get an expert opinion on this GTR. Our boy Jimmy, who is an expert at importing JDM crap from Japan and selling it for a lot of money, is here. Let's get his opinion on this.
The GOAT himself.
The GOAT. All right, Jimmy, we're gonna show you a car, and then we're gonna want you to tell us about your experience with something just like this.
Okay, let's take a look. I guarantee you the underside of that car is probably rotted out.
Why do you say that, Jimmy?
Look at that. You can see right there on the door.
Yeah,
there's a little bit
line
of rust there, and then you can kind of see it maybe on the quarter panel. Any R32, they're notorious for rusting on the quarter panels. I would know because I imported in 2020 an R32 GTR that I thought was very clean. Put it up on a lift one day, and I started looking underneath, and I was like, there's a lot of black undercoating on this.
Oh.
And there's a lot of Bondo in the quarter panels. And then I realized that this car was not clean.
I had a customer brought a classic car,
And he goes like, I just bought this. What do you think? And I'm like, let me put it on the lift. And I saw all this undercoating everywhere. And I told him, this fool went crazy on the undercoating. Why? And he goes like, oh, because he said he restored the whole bottom. I'm like, I saw a little corner where you could see rust, and I was like, nah, this is trash. And he goes like, what do you mean? I'm like, do you mind? And he goes like, what do you mean? Do you mind me just giving a little tug right there? He's like, go ahead. A rag came out with Bondo, and like maybe a piece this long came off the floorboard, which was holding the seat, because he was asking me, he's like, why does the seat move a little bit too much? Maybe because it's old. Bro, there was nothing there. Nothing there.
Did you do the old screwdriver test?
I didn't want to, because I would have been like this, like, looking like a murderer, like, your money. That would have been mad at me. I was like, no.
Well, later on, it will be the first time I put this Isuzu on the lift. Would you say this Skyline, is it worth a restoration?
I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Says Jimmy's not touching it, I'm not touching
Jimmy
it.
won't touch it, we won't touch it.
Customer states belt doesn't want to retract.
Doesn't want to retract. Okay. Okay, what do you think the issue is there?
I seen the cops are gonna get me. I stuffed something in there.
I'm guessing there's something stuck in there.
Or it's just full of crap. I bet it's dirty.
Oh, I've seen that too, yeah.
Just dust and grime, maybe an animal.
The stash spot, for some reason, is like right there for little babies in the back seat. They love throwing in there. Toys, you get candy.
I'm gonna say candy, yeah.
Yeah, candy.
Some sort of food in there.
A lot of candy.
All right, what do we got? Pulls up. Oh, what?
Dog food?
Oh, dog food.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
It is.
I bet it smells in that car.
What? Lassie go in there and just started shooting candy in there? I mean, there's food?
Maybe.
Maybe they were munching on it and they're throwing some for the seatbelt, one for them. I don't know. That's weird. How do you get dog food in there? That's a good one. That's a new one.
Insane. Maybe a kid found it.
Kids. God.
Kids. Or like maybe.
It's kids.
I can't really tell.
For those that have kids, they know what this feels like. Dad was acting like an ass that day. Nobody liked him. He's like, F you, Dad.
That's pretty funny.
Bam.
Assuming it's only dog treats in there.
Right.
What are you going to charge a customer to repair this?
Depending what it is. Let's just say it goes into the little slot and I can't retract it, then because then it'll seize up and then at that point it's like maybe it won't even retract again. So you have to buy a new belt. Plus reprogramming it, let's just say more or less, say you don't have to reprogram like $150, $200. But if it's just cleaning it up, I'll charge them like $80.
$80.
And I'll be like, be nice to your kids.
They are the future.
Sometimes.
Okay. All right.
Trolls.
All right, next clip.
Suck it up. What is this person doing? No. Arrest this person. Somebody call the cops. Somebody call the cops. What in tarnation? No.
Straight to jail. Take him away, officer.
I'm done.
Take him away. He is connecting his, that little vacuum line, whatever the hell, to his throttle port. So bad, dude. He's revving his engine, and as he revs it, dude, the car is trying to suck in fresh air, and it's just sucking debris. His chambers...
We have really tight tolerance inside of that engine, and any debris that's going in there can score the cylinder walls. It's just, it's gonna damage your engine.
It took me such a long time to truly figure out what's happening.
That's abuse. I'm calling the car abuse, CPS, car abuse services.
Car abuse services.
I have a badge.
CAS.
CAS? CPS Car Protect.
CPS Car Protect, sorry.
There you go. Yeah, I was like, wait.
Car abuse. Am I tripping?
Not yet, at least.
CPS, yes. Car Protective Services. I'm calling them. You suck, guy.
Yeah, you should put
it in your mouth and suck up that trash.
That's what she said.
I did say that. I'm tired of looking at this douchebag. Let's look at that next clip.
Oh.
Is that to know how far back to park?
No, it's the earliest bumpers, collapsible bumpers, that ultimately did. And now...
What was the purpose of it?
There's a regulation in the United States on bumpers. And the original standard was written, the car had to hit a barrier at 5 miles per hour with no damage to the vehicle and lighting systems.
Wow.
And they still have them.
What?
The regulation was changed. They just got better at it. So now they don't stand out. Mazda's first attempt at it. 74 Mazda RX-4 had these things that looked vaguely like chrome-plated railroad ties bolted to the front of the car. They were well and truly fugly. A lot of companies struggled with this bumper standard. And as time went on, they've gotten used to it. Now, the U.S. standard is officially now 2.5 miles per hour, no damage. Or 5 miles per hour with a damage threshold. Having said that, probably most of the cars built are still 5 miles per hour. And the reason is the Canadian standard stayed 8 kilometers per hour, 5 miles per hour. It didn't get wound down like the U.S. one did. So it's just easier to make one for everybody and not split parts of it. But the safety bumper's been on for years. It's just they're better at hiding them, okay?
I kind of like that. I mean, I could see how that could be beneficial for some people that don't know how to park.
Next clip, please.
Had a little exhaust leak where that clamp was holding on a heat shield. So I moved it, sanded it, 2 big cracks. Just caked her. Hopefully that'll seal her up. I just gotta wait.
Is he proud of this?
Well, he put JB Weld on top of exhaust. When you put JB Weld on exhaust, the further back you can put it, the better.
Right.
I still wouldn't recommend it, but I mean, as a temporary fix, this would totally work because it's not right up against the engine, because that can be like 2,000 or 3,000 Fahrenheit. But because this one is further down the line, it probably could hold up for maybe a month or so.
Right, until the material gets too hot, brittle, cracks, falls off, and then you're left with an exhaust leak again. All right, so what's the proper way to fix this?
Replace the whole pipe or cut a couple sections out and put a new piece of pipe in.
Which probably wouldn't take too much work. Grind it down and then lay some dimes down.
Even if you try to weld and add a piece to that, like it's gonna extend because it's rusty or even further out, and then the material gets brittle. So far, at one point, you're like, might as well replace
the whole thing.
The whole exhaust itself.
Yeah, that is kind of like the thing about this kind of stuff, like JB Weld, like duct tape, like any other sort of temporary fix. If it works, that's probably the last time someone thinks about that, until it comes time to replace or do more work.
If it's holding on and you don't hear no noise and you don't see no fumes, and you don't have to go do smog, you're chilling.
Oh, wow. What is that? The rear end?
I mean, I did take off a 1/4 inch or so of rust. It was just leaking everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
This looks like an episode of Is It Cake, You seen that show? Why would someone cake their diff in JB Weld?
I don't know. They must have stripped every single bolt to that diff cover, and they needed that cover to stay on.
Okay.
That's the only logical solution I can come up with, other than they think that they can fix the diff because it's cracked in half or something. I really don't know.
How good is this stuff at preventing leaks?
If you prep it, it's pretty good. Don't just drop it on there. Wire brush it, sand it, lay the stuff on, and you should be ready to go. We're not out to make fun of these guys.
No.
The people, yes.
Okay,
you guys suck. You guys suck.
Yeah, okay.
The prep it. You're not just gonna put dough, milk, and just throw it in the fucking oven. That's it. No, you're gonna prep it up.
True.
So you can make that cake.
Is it cake or is it a diff?
Yeah, so I lost my jumper cables, so I cut a cord off of an appliance inside, and I'm gonna see if I can get it to start. An extension cord inside plugged in an outlet.
Oh,
this end, so we don't fry anything.
Oh my word. I love people that really use their creative decision making.
I like that he wanted to try that though. I think we need more adventurous people in the world. Oh my god.
Oh my god, is he okay? Do you see that?
Look at that.
I love that logic. Put your mind in a simple state.
In a very, very simple state, yes. At both electricity, that should equal worky.
It charged my phone.
It charged your phone. Why not your car?
It's not going to do damage to the car, I don't think. I think it's going to be more damage to the circuit and the wall and the wire and the extension cord.
It's a little too much current for that cable, and then also that's not necessarily how like wall outlets work.
But other than that, it's mainly just causing a fire.
As long as you don't have like some sort of like external gas leak or something.
There's that. Yeah, there's that too. how carburetor guys see fuel injection.
That's actually true, though.
No, totally.
That's actually
because
true.
the amount of emotion that I get from carb guys about how anti-EFI they are, they're like emotionally opposed to it. Like, no.
Because it's so simple.
But electrical in general, I think, is something that is very
Scary.
Scary. Yeah. It's like
I mean,
traveling
when you
into
see some of
space.
these German cars,
That's
how
real.
I see some of that. We're like, okay, so we're burning the car?
Another day of wiring
sweet Jesus.
the Hellcat Magnum, and I'm getting a lot closer. I finally was able to get all of the RF module stuff to the back of the car.
Wait, this is serious.
And now I just have a few more things that I have to run, and then I could actually loom all of this madness
It's
back
like that
together
Head Like a
as single
Hole
harness,
9 Inch Nails video.
Dude, I honestly thought this was a
able to
joke.
be,
That's
but
insane.
She's,
There's no way.
She's getting very close.
He
No,
said
you're
he's
not.
getting ready
You're
to
not.
He said he's getting ready to loom it. I wouldn't even be in the same room if he tried to click that thing over, though. Something's gonna short out, guaranteed. Start a fire, and then you got bigger problems.
Typically, how long does it take to do wiring for a new engine?
Like a whole car, usually I'd quote someone, it starts at like 150 hours to do like a full car from the ground up scratch. But that can also go up to like 250, depending on how in depth they go with multiple sublooms and quick disconnects. This guy guaranteed has at least 2 weeks full on to get to that point right there. Is there any way to find him now and see what happened?
We're gonna have our producers look for a more recent video of this car, see if it's running. So stick around to the end of this video to see how this Magnum Hellcat's doing.
Sure, he's taking it to... He's taking it to go get aligned at the dealership.
It's running.
Wow.
Finally got the charger on the lift. It was kind of a pain. The steering shaft, I just tacked. It was a temporary one. It ended up breaking.
Oh my God.
I just welded it over there, so I'll put that back in.
Can you pause real quick? That's mechanic 101. You never do anything unless you do it all the way. You don't tack things and leave them and move forward. You don't start a suspension project unless you're gonna finish the suspension project. You don't start the brakes unless you're gonna complete the brakes. You don't put a wheel on halfway with all the lugs. You leave it on with the lugs on, or you take it off with all the lugs on.
Why are you getting an alignment when your steering shaft isn't fully welded?
Dude, what did I tell you? He's so excited to drive the car. He's gotta get there. He's gotta do this thing. And that's the problem with a lot of people don't have the patience.
To be honest, that's how we do a lot of our projects around here too. You gotta get it done. You gotta get it done for your videos.
January this year, me, Mike, Joey Rizul, old friend, used to work here at the channel, Nolan and his fiance, and an old editor of ours, Dean, all went to Rower Flats to go off-roading. It was supposed to be a super easy day, and we turn around and come running back down the hill, and we see this.
When I set out to record this video, this is not the story I thought I was going to be telling. The route Justin was taking us on was more technical than anything I had seen here before. I felt like I could get away with it in the moment. And
no, don't do this.
I couldn't.
No, weight shift, and he's over.
Joey's fine. Joey's fine.
And he's still on throttle.
Is that a 22 RE just yanking away in there?
Justin quickly went into dad mode, and he was on the phone to every off-road recovery company he could find.
You were actually on the phone to me.
Yeah, yeah. My truck was over the hill, and I'm yelling like, "What are you doing? Stop!"
Actually, Justin, I've wheeled with you a lot, and I know that you don't do that. You usually go, "Hey, don't do that."
Normally, I'll let you pass with some smart-ass bullshit like this, but Mike was there, and both of us were sprinting.
You can't run.
Listen, he hits throttle. See,
oh, wow.
that's me.
I stand corrected.
It looks like they're at Roller Flats, which is rollover flats,
I
which
didn't
is
know it
why.
was called that.
That's what it is. Yeah, be careful. Be careful.
From what he was telling me, he said he tried to switch to a different line.
Okay.
Which means he had to go over a rut into a different rut.
If you're going up a really severe hill like this, you should never try and turn your weight down the mountain. I mean, you're in an SUV or a truck or something, right? Your center of gravity is already pretty high. When you put it on its side on a hill, it's just much more likely likely to roll.
That's why a lot of off-roaders you'll see with the big tires stuck out more. It gives you a
So then
low
they can
center of
have
gravity.
lower-
You don't want to be tall and skinny. When you're in the air, you don't think of that. You're just like, I'm dying. That's it. I'm
Yeah.
dead. It's gone.
This is one of the things that scares me the most about off-roading. You can go up any hill and there's just a risk of rolling over.
Luckily, this is a slow roll, so it's not too bad, and I'm glad he's okay.
It's still rolling.
Because it was a slow roll. But the part in the sentence is roll, right? You're gonna focus on the roll part.
Don't panic. Don't start to do this. Don't start to turn around. You're much better off most of the time, 99% of the time, backing down. Or if you cannot back down and you have someone else with you, it's a much better idea to try and winch to them, have them winch you, have them pull you with a strap, something like that. Trying to turn downhill like this, I don't think I would ever recommend this in any scenario. Right. You should always try and find a different way out of this.
I agree. Well, Joey, I'm glad you're okay. Definitely gonna miss your 4Runner.
I don't even know you, but I'll buy it for $500.
Let's go to the next clip.
You! I need a mechanic friend. Oh no, that's not how it reads.
What the
The airbag just went off? Might have done a self-test that they weren't supposed to do. Look, test commence.
Because I'm really confused. You could pop the motherfucking airbag like that?
Not that you can pop the airbag, but
'Cause I'ma go do
if
that.
there is some sort of short and he decided to energize the wrong thing, like there's not a button that says release airbag.
Ejectocito.
There are actuator tests or what they'll call functional tests where you, if you have a scan tool that has bidirectional control, you can not only read codes, but you can talk to the computers. And these actuator tests or functional tests are where you can tell the computer to command something like honk a horn, but there are actuator tests tied to the supplemental restraint system. And not that there is a test to ejectocito or to deploy airbag, but if there was already an electrical fault and he actuated the wrong thing, I'm going to assume that it's tied to that, since as soon as he pressed the scan tool button. Okay.
Lift?
Are we just using that as a lift?
Yes. I would so do that.
But he's under it.
Yeah, but when you go to a junkyard, they just put the
They
pallets in
move
it,
them
boom,
like that, but
butter.
sometimes they tip over. This is me being overly
You're not a redneck.
cautious. Oh.
I'm sorry.
That
you
hurts,
say you were
Sandro.
kind of redneckish? No, I'm brown, but if my neck could get super red, my would be like bright red. She's like, let's put it on this fancy ass
I want
lift.
to live.
What if I pop a flare? What do you think? I'm curious.
Is it a Waymo mobile?
Leave hella smoke in the
Seems
front.
that way. Very experimental. Wouldn't rely on a cop to understand all of the intricacies.
No! Stay!
Tells him no.
Got an autonomous vehicle, the Waymo. It's inching slowly and closely to the one of the main water lines that the SF Fire just charged. I don't trust this AI.
I don't trust his AI. It's creeping up on me. That's an interesting situation to be in.
Yeah, I mean, it could be reacting that way for any number of reasons. These experimental vehicles, they want to get from point A to point B, and they don't know about all of the work being done. They can definitely recognize these sorts of things happening on the streets, but navigating around them is the hard part still. The end goal is that these cars are going to have to sort of reroute themselves, right? They've got to react like we do to traffic jams and to road debris and things like that. In the meantime, I think a lot of these companies are throwing darts. Try new things and see what happens, but eventually they've got to be able to reroute themselves.
Right. You can see on that car, there's all sorts of gadgets on the exterior of it. How does like an autonomous car work?
I like to think of it in layers. So the very top layer, there's navigation and path planning. Right below that layer is your onboard sensor network and compute systems. So there are things like ultrasonic and LiDAR and radar and cameras. And these things are trying to sense the environment so that they can make good decisions. Below that is actually car controls. It's the driver when there is no driver. So how do I communicate with the ECUs on the car to, hit the brakes, turn on the blinkers, things like that.
Yeah, pretty complex system, it seems.
Yeah, that's why it's taken so long to get right.
Yeah, but we're close, right? Would you say?
That's anybody's guess. I mean, if you know that answer, you should be playing the stock market.
Let me see the next clip.
Nice folded up configuration. And we'll show you what makes this unit so special.
Oh, hell
Have
yeah.
a look here.
Hell yeah. I'm
And
about
he's gonna
that.
pull that pin right there.
I'm about that.
And then the back of it will drop down.
Mm-hmm.
It's a much more comfortable style over-the-top creeper than traditional units.
I wait to see people falling asleep. While they're floating over the motor. Hey, what are you doing? You're like this, like, that fool's drooling on the motor?
He's
Was it
sleeping. I mean, I'm small.
Oh, no.
So
Oh.
who knew? So I have found myself many a times sitting inside engine bays, but if you got to get to a sensor in the back of the engine or something, how else are you gonna get there? Maybe if you're as tall as you are, you might be able to reach up and over, but for somebody like me, I'll set pads on top of the engine and essentially do that. But I hate doing that because you have to be careful. You know, you don't want to be cracking things or distorting things or bending things just to try to do a job.
Check this out. The boys actually brought you one.
Ooh.
So you can try it out.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Let's see if this short queen could do it.
That's what I'm talking about. I need this tool in my life.
So check it out, Angie. We got this red line creeper. We'll hop on.
First thoughts, I'm not sure why there's 2 sets of steps, but I'm sure there's a reason that's good for that. I'm a little short, so I'm gonna probably have to use the top step here. All right, then just this lever right here, right? Ooh, look at that. Hey, remember when planking was a thing?
Fuck, it's kind of hard.
Does Photoshop me into some like sky? And now into some Mission Impossible.
Overall, it looks tight.
I can access everything back here. This is a game changer. This is sick. I like it. I really, really like it. This item is $1,700.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, as a short person, I would probably invest into this. I think it's the way of the future.
I like it.
Yeah, I dig it.
My favorite is the trafficators. They're the early turn signals. And you operate them by hitting this switch.
Oh, yeah.
And they pop out like that.
They were called semaphore turn signals.
We've got the window mechanism. It's a quick release, so
driver
if you
only.
just pull this out, look how fast the window goes up. Pull this lever, and you've got some footwell vents. Another interesting feature on the door panel is the adjusting armrest to go up or down. Down here is this little weird compartment here, and if you unlock it, out pops a do-it-yourself toolkit. Above it, you got the glove box door. Previous owner left some vintage Philip Morris cigarettes in there.
I want those.
Unfiltered cigarettes. which
I
was
need
very
those.
rough to smoke back in the day. Back here is like extremely comfy, and then pull out your tray to
You can have a
dinner
meal on the road,
or
Bob.
have a drink, and when you're done, close it back up and enjoy the back seat. Of
Looks
this
like a
wonderful
Bentley Mark 6.
That is so cool. I'm so jealous at the fact that like how he can roll his window up and down. Listen, the little EG we got has roll-up windows, and I hate roll-up windows. I want that.
If you're on the passenger side in this car, it's a regular roll-up. That was driver's door only they had on those.
Why?
Tolls and such. Get the window down. Remember, in England, it's raining. Okay? Just to get the window open real quick so you get in and out. Passengers, of course, had the usual delightful, slow thing. The toolkit, of course, was very important because it was British and therefore needed maintenance on the road.
That's cool. I mean, I'm pro manufacturers putting toolkits in their cars.
You gotta remember, Bentley started as a sports car. People forget that. And they turned into this thing after Rolls-Royce bought them.
Salespeople.
Yeah.
My eyes.
Oh, God.
Hold on. I gotta push them back in their sockets.
That is that a 4-spoke steering wheel?
Who cares? It's using the windshield that's a rear window from 1958 Mercury.
Look at the transmission tunnel.
Look at the seat color
I know,
combination. This was done by blind people.
Yeah. I am not about this.
This, first of all, it strikes me in 2 areas. One, it looks like something that my brother and I used to do when we were 5 years old with car magazines or ads in Life and Time, and we'd cut the bits of cars out and we paste them together to make a new car. It looks like they actually pulled it off.
Yeah, they did it in real life.
Not quite as well as we did, but it has that look of something that was done by some fashionable haute couture designer to make a dress for someone that you couldn't walk around in or move in, but gosh, It was such a statement.
I think we can both agree that this one has got to go straight to hell.
No, I think even the devil would reject it.
All right, how about we get to the next concept?
Please, quickly, anything.
Let's get away from this.
Anything.
Next one.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
What the hell is this? No one stands taller than when stooping to help a child. Disgusting. Ugh, get that gremlin face out of here. Oh. That little sausage fingers.
It has a good concept.
I thought dudes wanted like baddies painted airbrush on their car.
That looks like a 50-year-old little kid.
Or
Look at
like-
a jawline.
Or like a dragon or some shit. I don't know. You got sausage fingers McGee over here.
Were they going for the bad look? You know some people go for the bad look, right?
Yeah, on purpose.
Yeah, on purpose. I mean, you clear-coated this shit, so it's like you approved this shit, bro.
Oh, that's a newer Mustang.
shit. Yeah.
Slotted rotors.
Those are some nice rims.
That thing got
them
burnt down. Oh!
Yeah, that's tight.
Whoa!
Oh, that's tight.
Oh, that's what you want to see.
The headers are pretty legit. It looks like you just caught on fire.
I think the headers probably survived that fire.
Yeah, because if you buy headers right now, it's what, like 2 Gs, 1,800, or maybe more. It depends what kind of custom work they did to it. See, I will give props to whoever restores a car from the junkyard. That takes a lot of time and dedication because you have to understand, when it goes to the meat grinder, everybody hits it. Everybody will take sensors, take this, take that, take miscellaneous parts. They'll even break it just because they just want to around.
In this situation, I would say grab that turbo kit for sure.
Plus
I mean, that
whatever
twin turbo
internals.
kit alone is 5 Gs easily, at the least.
I'll leave this to the rust, but I'll take all the parts from it. But I'll leave it to the rust. I'm
Good
sorry.
Oh, those are some tennis balls. Oh my gosh.
Okay, there's a reason.
They're in tennis ball jail. They've been bad.
Say if you got it slammed, you got a couple people in it and it's sagging down. You put the balls in there to help it out a little bit, pretty much.
Imagine a dog getting under there and be like, ooh, and then it's just like trying to rip one of those out. Dogs keep attacking my truck. I don't know what's going on.
At the track, we employ similar techniques to avoid time of swapping out a whole spring. Like we're doing back-to-back practice runs trying to dial in the car, right? So we put in spring rubbers, that's what we call them. And we essentially take a piece of rubber and we put it in between a coil and we disable basically this whole coil. Mathematically, you calculate a spring rate by adding up the amount of coils, the coil diameter, and there's like a variable that you use for the spring strength, and if you disable an actual coil, it's very evident that you increase the spring rate. This is a hybrid model right here, because you see that tennis ball that's bulging in between the coils? That's kind of disabling part of that coil. But then on top of it, he's got an air spring because of all the other tennis balls being in the inside diameter. I mean, this guy's just on it.
You ever have a problem when you're trying to put springs in your car?
Oh, this kind of compression, yeah.
So you get a spring compressor.
Let's go. Oh,
But
God.
with the spring compressor on,
Yeah.
it won't fit because the spring compressor.
Hell.
So you want to compress it, then add zip ties, keep them in the middle so they're easy to access, and then remove the spring compressor carefully. That's how much shorter it makes the spring. And then you want to take your angry little ball of zip ties and potential energy and just slot it in.
Yeah, you know, just not like potential
then
energy,
with the spring
right?
in situ, you just go to town with the wire cutters.
That's one way to do it.
For what he's doing, it's like, yeah, that's quick, you know, because normally I would just kind of take it off and then...
Right, you
whatever.
disconnect the control
you
arm or
disconnect
something,
whatever
yeah.
you need to just get it in there, and then, you know, you get a jack, put it underneath, get it to line up and crush that spring in. All right, guys, hi, I'm Heber. I'm the mechanic here at Donut. I work on all the cars here. Everything gets fixed by me most of the time. Also, things break here all the time, so, you know, job security's great. This looks like it works, you know, it's just a little dangerous, and if that potential energy becomes kinetic, that will launch in your face.
Super dangerous. You're really putting a lot of trust in those zip ties for sure.
Buy the expensive ones. I swear, if you're going to the 99-cent store for zip ties to do something like this, you don't see God.
When you finally finish your repairs, but somehow have extra bolts.
That's me.
That's actually my face.
That's me.
That's my face. Hey, you put them in your little pocket and you walk in the car and you're like, damn, I'm done. And then you're like, What are these 10 bolts for?
Whose bolts are these?
And then you look at the car next to you, you're like, it could be from that car.
Or maybe it's yesterday's car. Gone. So have you ever done that where you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, did I put that bolt back in?
Yeah.
Or you know you didn't, and you're just like, and then there's nothing you can do about it except for wait for the tow truck. Sometimes it doesn't happen though, and the customer never comes back.
No
And you're like, maybe nothing happened.
Something probably did happen. It didn't come back.
They didn't come back.
I look like the dog right now. Angie. I can't do it. My jaw hurts.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I gotta tell you.
That is a utilitarian looking, oh my, wow. It's got just a wheel that drops down.
Yeah, when you need that extra wheel. Well, I don't know when that would be, but when you need it, okay, it's there.
I mean, it's got bucket seats ready to go.
I like the 1950s rocket taillights.
That's a lot of coolers. Turbo, 4.5 V8, that's cool.
Franco Sparrow, yes, great guy. True genius.
We're talking about the pizza company, right?
No relation. Okay. Pizza from these people, I'd probably pass on.
There's a lot to take in on this. So you said this guy does strange designs.
He does strange everything. Let's be honest. Okay, the man is the backbone of the Swiss auto industry.
Okay.
More tumbleweeds. Okay. No, sorry.
There is no Swiss auto industry.
he did stuff like he did these replica Lola T70s.
Oh, that's cool.
He did these replica BMW 328s. You know, we've been going progressively into the more powerful drugs. Whatever he's taking is legal in Switzerland, which is why he's there.
So would you say you're on board with this car? Do you like it? Do you not?
I'm kind of on board with this.
So you're sticking with you don't like SUVs? Because this is an SUV, I would say.
That makes an SUV appealing to me.
Oh,
whoa.
That looks great.
That thing is intense.
I think I know this guy online. I've seen his videos.
Woo.
Max's Trepidors and everything. This thing bead locked. Lots and lots of travel. Solid axle.
He's got all the travel.
Yeah.
No doors.
This looks bueno.
Oh, it's right-hand drive.
That thing is badass.
So what's the biggest mod to get this sort of articulation?
4-link. Basically, there's 4 links that go from the axle to somewhere on the frame here, and same in the back. So you can do a 4-link in the front and just have a regular setup in the back, or you can do a 3-link in the front, regular setup in the back, vice versa. A lot of people, like this guy, most likely has a 4-link front and rear.
What's the level where it becomes inconvenient to have this much travel and articulation?
Never. In terms of actually going out and doing trails with something with this much articulation, it just puts everything on easy mode. But also 50% of the fun is building it.
Yes.
Right? Is building something that's a monstrosity and this cool. The similarities between this and a 2,000 horsepower car are very similar.
Yes.
It's like the 2,000 horsepower car, it's not really street drivable anymore, you know? And also, can you ever really use that 2,000 horsepower?
Nope.
Not really. So sometimes it's more fun to drive a 300 horsepower GR Corolla.
Sounds like the off-road community is all about linking and building.
Linking and braking and building and braking and braking and building and braking.
The process never stops.
Next clip.
Oh, this is so sick, dude. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little arousing.
Is it?
You're saying sketchy.
Arousing?
Of all the things, this is sketchy?
That's sketchy.
You've said so many other things where, okay,
Come
maybe a little
on, this is sketchy. Imagine that floor's off.
Listen, Germans made it. There's no way it could fail,
But then again,
right?
I am kind of scared of them. So.
So if I won the lotto, instead of putting,
Yeah, you're
I'm
gonna
get
have a bunch of those guys.
5 of those fools, and they're gonna be all lined up, and I can work
Just imagine her like this, like, yeah, lift it up. Yeah, you know what? Lift that one up too.
Like the guy on Dodgeball watching the wheels lift his belly button. Lift that.
You know what?
Lift that thing up.
I need 3 of them up now.
Oh, no, take it down. Put it over there. Lift it up.
Move it up. Maybe because I seen a lot of these fail.
You've seen those fail?
No, well, I seen the concept ones, like as they're bringing them out. The floor is not right, so they do flop down.
100%. Okay, that I agree with. If you don't have a perfectly flat floor, I'm not using this for sure.
Because that's money right there. So watch, say you're gonna put your lift, right? You go like 3 feet down with concrete, your bolts, blah, 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 so forth and so on, right? With something like this, now you're gonna pay for more money to get that floor space perfect. Because let's just say my shop, there's gonna be angles where it's not perfect.
Yeah, this is not ideal for your shop, for sure. But like, let's just say you're balling out of control. Maybe
Bruce Wayne
you're
over
Bruce
here.
Wayne. Like you purchase a workspace just for doing something like that. They're gonna lay the concrete anyways. I mean,
You just wanna see your man moving that Stop it. Baby, move it that way.
no, take it down.
Bring it down.
Bring it down.
Is this the way of the future, or do we keep it OG?
I don't know that I would go as far to say it's the way of the future. But if I'm a custom shop and I got the perfect floor and the space for these types of things, I think it's lit. You tell me you don't like it a little bit?
I like it. I'll go with the future. It looks pretty cool.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Oh yeah. There we go, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Oh yeah. Legit. The paint separates over time, right? So, the little layers of the different chemicals that make up paint, if it just sits for a long time, you get a good shake on it, then you don't get those like splatters as much. I feel like it's, definitely a recommended part of the procedure.
This is definitely a process to do this. Like, if we're being honest, this is a lot to get this paint to mix, it's gonna be really mixed, but you're gonna have to redo this. But this is definitely a process. But it definitely beats doing this.
Yeah.
After every spray.
I'm gonna gift that.
If you don't do a lot of painting in your shop, then I don't know if this is necessary. You could probably just handshake as Heber showed us earlier.
Exactly like that. Just do it like that, it works the best.
It works the best. Cool. Oh, God. Okay. Very popular. What the what?
Okay, this has happened to me before.
Interesting. He was probably trying to maneuver something inside, and then he's like, oh, okay, get out. And if we look at that hole, it does look like almost like kind of like shards, if you will. So I don't. Does this finger look extra long to you, or is that just me?
This is like me at the Chipotle wall. With all the holes. My dad had to grab me and like pull me, like it was swelling. I was like,
oh my God.
And that looks like something off of like a motorcycle or some sort of like, what do you think that is?
Probably, right? That's like
Yeah.
a really small case.
So one of our wonderful viewers gets their chubby little fingers stuck in a drain hole. What should you do?
Phone a friend.
Phone a friend.
That's what I
Call your
recommend.
mom.
I'd call my mom. Mom, please help me.
I mean, I can't even be mad at bro. I could see myself in this exact situation.
No, totally. Yeah, God, that sucks. So he had to stay stuck in there until they removed that case.
This case.
That's nuts. Ah. Dude, he's getting real intimate with that trans right there.
Excuse me? Say that again?
Let's turn on the Barry Manilow or Barry White. Okay, well, I don't see him actually shifting though.
Is he just fingering it?
Yeah. Why is he smiling like that too? I've never tried to shift
He's just
something
having fun.
with
He's just having
my
fun.
finger, so I don't know if that's possible or not. I will say you would have to put in some serious effort because you lost all the leverage of your shifter.
He's not shifting.
It's very weird.
It's automatic.
And the smile on his face.
That's gross.
You're creeping Sandro out, man.
Yeah, look at that fool.
Look
He's
at
staring
that.
at me. Don't be looking at me.
So he's making eye contact
Don't
with you?
make eye contact with me.
Let's shift into that next clip.
So this car, yes.
Oh.
This car
was found in a barn, and it still has the VIN of a 1954 Ferrari 500 Mondo Spider.
Oh, that's gonna be worth it. Get a little
And
money.
this car just sold at auction today in this condition for $1.8 million. You may be wondering, why did it sell for $1.8 million? Well, it sold for $1.8 million because Ferrari will rebuild it because there is still the VIN present. So they will rebuild it, and it'll be
So
worth
we're gonna cut off the VIN and just put another car in there?
once rebuilt.
Sorry, I didn't hear anything you just said.
I know, I'm mesmerized by the 1.8.
So someone bought this pile of scrap because it still has the VINs over a house, essentially.
That's crazy.
But he does say because it has VINs, Ferrari will restore it.
Restore what? Just take off the plate and just
They still make all the parts.
Why even buy the scrap? Just get the VIN. That's weird.
I think essentially that's what the value is.
That's
the VIN
crazy.
is the value.
I'll be like, look, you guys are buying this piece of paper and this plate for 1.8 million. And the
then
rest is gonna cost you 5 million more.
And then you sell it for 15.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. If now the tables return, you're right about that, you see? If the tables return and I know those VIN numbers,
Yeah.
I'm
you
getting
walked into a barn, someone was like, hey, get my grandma's old crap out of here. You walked in, saw a Ferrari with VIN plates, you'd be like, okay.
If it was rich me, if I had rich money, I'll restore that shit. But since it's poor me, throw that shit in the trash.
So I had this wonderful idea to try to install the windshield.
Oh, glass.
Oh gosh.
So I picked up the windshield for like $100, but that's just the beginning of the shit show. I cut a nice little bead.
There's a reason this is a profession.
Yeah, I wouldn't do this myself.
And I plopped it on there.
I know, and it's not my.
Cry, but I was soon punished for my hubris because the windshield was not at the correct level. It needed like much thicker application. It needed to be spaced out. And the trim was not sitting on the glass. So
This sounds like a
the adhesive
nightmare.
is just brutal. It gets everywhere. It got all over the paint. It was near impossible to remove. I was up till 3 a.m. But I was losing my mind. So just pay somebody to do it.
Yeah.
I got it right, but I didn't record it because I was losing my mind.
All for a drift car that is just gonna crack it anyway.
I was losing my mind watching you with no gloves.
Have you used that glue?
I have never used it. I have smelled it, and that itself is diabolical.
That glue is nasty. Like nasty. Like once it gets on you, just let it dry.
There's a reason why someone might go to In-N-Out because they do burgers really good, right? You're not going there to get a chicken sandwich because you'd go to the place that does that really good. For certain things like that, I'm not gonna try to do that.
Yeah.
They make it look easy because they do it every day, but they know the little things that they need to do to get the job done.
Here's the thing. I'm a firm believer of where there's a will, there's a way. Try it out, bud. Me personally, I like my windshield to be centered. At the end of the day, I can't really knock him on it. He did it.
I'll give it to him.
He did it.
If it's crooked, at least you know I let that be crooked. You see the windshield? I was like, that's me.
You need a crooked windshield? On me.
God damn it.
I made an incredibly exciting discovery about the S14.
Hey, I know that guy.
Do you see how much Bondo there is? Do you see how deep it goes?
Ooh,
Do you see this?
Handmade body
Do you
kits.
see how deep this goes?
Drift car?
That's a lot of Bondo. I think I'm
I was, in fact. S14s, all the OEM panels, they're discontinued.
Yeah.
You can't get anything. And if you can get a section off of a parts car, usually it's mangled.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like this was me being very inexperienced and not having a lot of money, trying to make things work, but I still got a lot to learn.
You gotta start somewhere.
A lot of the times you just gotta know when to walk away.
Yeah, I mean,
that car is now a cube. Okay? I ended up taking it down to the bare metal, using a stud welder and pulling it out as much as possible. I braced the transmission tunnel with some wood and then used the ramjack to push the B pillar out. But then after all that, I was doing all the math and like how much hours and time and money I was like, this thing is, it's never gonna be good. It's never gonna be great. It's just gonna be at best okay.
Yeah, if it's not going to be your forever car, it didn't have some sort of sentimental value to you, you know, your dad bought it brand new and gave it to you, then like, you may just want to start off with a new platform.
Whoever did the Bondo work here was just Picasso. They should have become a sculptor. Look how the seam is not correct. See? How off to the right, you see the correct one, and then to the left, he made the fake seam.
Yeah, unfortunately, you see that a lot. Used cars, you know, you may get something like, that fender looks a little bit weird.
and then you find out that you have 3 inches of Bondo.
It was heartbreaking, but honestly, this video lit such a fire under my ass that I don't think I'd be where I am today.
And see, and that, so it was a blessing in disguise.
Exactly.
You know, everything's gonna be a door to open somewhere else. So that was, if you didn't have this, like you said, you may not be here, or maybe you wouldn't try as hard, or look for certain things, or be as involved you are today.
Exactly.
Tell you, I'm learning every day. Yep. Actually, you taught me some words today. I don't remember what they were, but.
Skibbity toilet.
Yep, that one.
Next clip.
All right, I see a
4 and 8. Oh, yep.
Oh, brutal. Oh, brutal.
Honestly, that's a lot of money.
That's a dude.
That's
He
a
told the
shit
car.
ton of money, yeah. You know what? It kind of reminds me of you.
What was that?
When you hopped off. Right there. You remember when you were in the track?
In the Civic?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was under control. That was planned, dog.
Oh, okay.
That was planned. That jump was planned. This was not a.
Hey, but no lie, you look good though.
I look pretty good. I look pretty good. I was going for the pass, man. I had to do it. It was last couple laps. I had to make something happen. This guy just went.
He had to do something too.
He had to do something too. He had to show off apparently.
And it looks like an early morning, cold place.
Yes, you got cold tires, cold road, maybe traction control turned off.
A lot of it comes down to weight transfer. These are such light cars with such heavy horsepower that as soon as you mash the throttle, you're pushing all the weight to the back. And it's okay, because it's gonna slip a little bit. The car is actually designed to be able to give you a little bit of that slip angle. It scares the shit out of people. And so as soon as it starts to slip and they let go of the throttle, sends all the weight back to the front, and now you've got no traction on the rear. And now you're just along for the ride.
Show them how it's done.
Okay, this is what you do, okay? So you're inside here, you're like, hey baby, I love you. You're my Ferrari. I'm gonna give you what you want, which is full gas. So it starts going like this, right?
So the car's kind of squatting down, and even though it's fishtailing a little bit, it's got really good traction. But if you get scared at all and you come all the way off that throttle, the car actually does this. And now you've got nothing back here but a free ride to that curb.
Just let it eat. It's okay. It's just gonna sit there and burn out a little bit. And then just counter steer and just sit in it and just let it eat. And then when you correct, it'll snap too. Just let the wheels go forward. He's doing too many inputs in the car and it's causing drama. This thing just wants to go straight and go fast.
Yeah, finesser.
Finesser. How much would this cost, you think? Cost of the car, right?
Yeah, a lot. Probably like, I don't know, 2 houses, house and a half. That's where you're buying your real estate at. But
yeah, I mean, house and a half worth of damage, yeah.
Oh no! Sandra knows what happened.
Oh, this disrespect. The disrespect that we're getting right here, my boys.
Sandra, what could have happened here?
Mechanically, it could have been your son. Didn't close your hood right, or the latch broke.
That's possible.
I mean, it
We did see the back bumper there.
The back bumper.
It's a lot
I
of
mean,
broken
honestly,
things.
the guy.
It's a Mustang.
The guy is the guy.
It's the guy. It's the guy. His first bad choice, he chose the Mustang, and then it looks like a series of bad choices with the back bumper and the hood latch situation.
And on that bombshell.
Oh no! Too soon? Too soon?
My son left the hood on. Didn't close it right. Look at that. So what happened right there mechanically? The front end of the car, the hood popped over. I was talking about the gerbil. I didn't check if the hood was closed all the way down. I got on the freeway thinking I was Toretto himself, and then right when I'm leaving it, like off there, that it just flies up. I blame Angie.
Don't talk shit about the gerbil.
I'm gonna send you the bill.
Don't talk shit about the gerbil.
Boys, who you guys ride with? Her Civic or my Civic? Let it be known. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna win.
It's hot. You want to cool it down before you shut it off. And then rub it up a little bit. And the fan will come on. Brings it right down. You're not sitting there waiting for it to cool down. That's all I got.
Here's the thing, your fan comes on when it's hot. It doesn't come on with RPM. He was mentioning before you turn the engine off if it's hot. And this is something that actually a lot of people don't know, that if you are dealing with an overheating situation, you don't necessarily always want to turn the car off instantly, like, oh, it's super hot, let me turn it off, because what you get is heat soak. It is a good idea that if you are dealing with overheating situation, that you find some other way to cool it down.
I have a really reliable CRV, and I've had some overheating issues. I've been a little negligent, and
they're mild though, right? So
sure,
they don't need to be fixed right now.
Sure. Steph. When this used to happen to my friend's really cool CRV, they told me that they would, and when they would be sitting at like in traffic or something, and their temperature would start climbing, they would throw their car in neutral and then just like get it past like 2,000 RPM or at 2,000 RPM, and then the temp gauge will go down, and it's a life hack.
I see what you're saying, because the belt is going to spin the water pump faster because you're revving higher, so you're getting more coolant. An even better hack, I would say, would be to turn on the heater so you get coolant flow through the heater core.
But then you're hot, dude. Then you're sitting in traffic and then you're hot, dude. And you can't even use your AC.
Yes, Steph. You're gonna sweat your ass off so your head gasket doesn't blow. That's why we make sacrifices.
My head gasket's strong, baby. Hasn't blown yet. Next clip.
It's a Corolla.
Whoa. So this is the opposite of what we saw earlier.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, that looks fun. That looks like a blast. Sign me up.
It's fun to
all
experiment.
spring, no shock, right?
Right, exactly. This is exact opposite of what we saw earlier. This is all spring, zero shock.
I would never take my friends around
No,
something
no,
like
no,
that.
no. They don't want to ride
They
with
would
you
get
with that.
seasick.
Yeah, they're like, man, let me out. Please let me out of here. When you see people going on the highway and the rears
Yeah,
doing
it's
this,
just like floating.
Yeah, it's just the shocks. Just replace them. They're like $40 a piece.
Yeah.
Come on.
And it's a good example of it not just oscillating nonstop, it's actually running out of mechanical travel, hitting the bump stop, which is violently making it go up into the rebound stroke, and it's topping out. It's running out of mechanical travel on the upstroke, therefore it's lifting the wheel off the ground.
He's lucky that's front wheel drive, or else he'd be a whole lot.
It'd be even more fun if it was rear wheel drive for sure. A shock doesn't go to hell that quickly. If you get a leaking shock, it's gonna take time for it to get enough fluid out of there to where throughout its whole stroke, it'll be uncontrollable like that. I've seen it happen on like rally cars, right? Because if it's hammering to the point where it's topping out super violently, eventually it will break that off and then it'll come apart, and then you have like mechanical failure. The shock will come apart on some suspension systems that will make the wheel like literally fold out. So that's kind of like the riskiest business that he's dealing with right there, is the shock physically coming apart as he's having fun.
Well, let's bounce ourselves into the next clip.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Oh, she's talking to
Oh.
Oh.
Is that a car twerk?
Yeah, that car is sassy.
Wow.
What happened to it? What happened to my van last year? That subframe in the back probably just snapped.
Every issue that we've seen here, Brett's van has experienced.
Where the subframe mounts to the body is gone. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing the subframe just moving independently from the body of the car.
All your wheels and everything kind of connect to it in the back, all your suspension and everything. And if there's any damage to that subframe, then nothing's gonna work right.
A subframe is usually two pieces. It's a front subframe versus a rear subframe. So it's independent, and in between there's usually a unibody car. There is no actual frame that holds the two halves together other than the body. The subframe you can replace fairly easy, but in this case, the connecting points for the subframe to hold itself into the body of the car is gone. Your subframe holds your tires, your suspension, and all the stuff that keeps you on the road. I don't think you should be trying to repair this.
Oh, yes. Toyotas are indestructible. I bet as soon as those bananas get off that truck, it'll rebound right to place.
I don't think that thing's coming back.
It is weird that it gave out on one side.
No, it snapped the leaf spring.
But it's still going.
He probably just put a piece of wood in there. Just put a piece of wood in, jam a piece of wood in there, great suspension.
He's on his way to get the wood.
Yeah.
Besides reasons like this, how does Toyota get that reputation of being so indestructible? Is it mainly trucks?
I think it's everything. I mean, I think all manufacturers have some problem cars and some not, whatever. Toyota's just been great. I mean, this is an 80s pickup truck and there's a million of them on the road still. Parts are readily available in almost every country, so I mean, it's easy to fix them and keep them maintained. And other countries maintain cars better than Americans. So, I mean, this is an 80s pickup truck and obviously way overloaded. It wasn't meant to hold that much weight. And he's still driving it.
Next clip. As much fun as it is to watch meticulously engineered machines fail, we actually love German cars. They are an absolute blast to drive, and they're built like tanks. Let's see what happens to this BMW after a building collapses on it.
Whoa!
Nice.
It's still driving!
Yeah, and it's slammed.
You got the camera going
Give us the finger. F you guys, it still runs. This is my sweet baby. The fact that it's driving, that's pretty amazing. Looks like it just caved in the,
Just the roof.
Just caved in the roof.
Casual.
Everything else is operating pretty good.
The question is, was it slammed before the tree landed on it, or did the tree give it that epic stance?
And one thing you can never say about a German vehicle is that it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
It's easy to on German engineering and German vehicles, but truly people that have German vehicles, they love them. Once you get one, you don't expect to like it as much as you do, and then one day you just wake up and you think, huh.
I'm a BMW guy. Oh no.
All the faults that we've seen today, this is a positive for the Germans here, I would say. You built a really tough car. Maybe most cars wouldn't be able to survive a building collapsing on it, but this one did.
Like, was that commercial? Like a rock.
Like a rock. Wie Einstein, I was born as I could be.
Alaska doesn't get dark enough for fireworks on 4th of July, so they do this instead.
Okay, thank you, Michael.
Whoa!
What the
Oh my God. Where are they landing? They're gonna keep going.
Me.
Ah! Ah! Oh my God!
Wait, somebody's in there?
Oh.
Okay, because I was about to say, the only thing that wasn't down to ride.
That's what I was just gonna say. I was like, listen.
I was down to ride a lot of but not that.
But this is nuts.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not gonna say what I did, but that's cool. I'm so down. I'm down. That's actually pretty cool.
That's
Honestly,
kind of cool.
That's cool. Like how they set it up is, so they lock the steering wheel.
Right.
You could do it like with a belt or whatever, and just.
They
make sure
had
it's
a
straight.
ratchet strap. There you
There you
go.
go. There you go.
Yeah.
So she's doing it.
Is the ratchet strap to the gas? No. What's he pulling? Because it's not to the steering.
Oh, I don't know what he's pulling. The way I think it should be done is you have the door open, you have the homie holding you with a belt, ready to pull you. So then you grab a rock and you put it on the gas pedal, and then that fool pulls you, and then the car just takes off and it goes right off the cliff.
Hypothetically,
just saying,
never done this
I've never done
before. If
Boy,
somebody was gonna do this.
That's how you would do it.
I mean, obviously, it's got to be having something to do with the acceleration,
Yeah,
but
that's
how they're
super
doing
cool.
it, yeah.
So we do have fun shit on this side.
Yeah.
So we don't get invited.
That's
We're not
well,
cool. We're not cool enough. We're not cool enough.
No, we're not rural enough.
Yeah.
We all know Hollywood loves the drama of tanks in a combat zone.
Let's see if there's any truth to this scene.
Somebody better do something! I got a tank on my head!
Okay. Can tanks go highway speeds?
No. All right, how fast are we going right now?
So he's.
And what is he doing? A rolling burnout? How are the?
He's driving a Mustang. It looks like.
Yep.
If he's doing like 70, 80 miles an hour, I'd be. That tank's probably not catching it.
Yeah, there also is not much room in a tank.
Oh, really? I was about to say the windshield looks a little big.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I hate it.
Superhero.
Broke his back.
No, he didn't. That's Vin Diesel,
Yeah,
dude.
that's true.
Oh, my God. A ridiculous scene.
There's a lot to unpack there.
Too much, even. What is like a reasonable top speed for a modern tank?
I'd say, anywhere between 40, 50 miles an hour.
Right, and that's hauling in a tank.
That's hauling. That is hauling.
Your track would start expanding a little bit too far and like go off.
I don't see him catching a sports car on a highway.
Yeah, like that's just crazy.
Plus, once that car was kind of under the track like that,
Yeah, it'd just get eaten up.
It would not be pushing
Yeah,
him
like
ahead.
that, right. It would just go.
Yeah, I mean, it could certainly drag the car, no
Yeah.
problem.
That cable would snap. Theoretically, if that cable didn't snap, it would probably bend this.
Okay.
And that's what
Buddy!
Is this where it catches on the bridge and flips the tank? Yeah, that's not happening either.
Yeah, right. It would just snap that chain, absolutely shell the car, anything other than
The car would have just disappeared,
Yeah.
and the tank would still keep rolling. That's.
And then the jump, the catch. Oh my God, that is so Fast and Furious.
Even the scenes on the inside of the tank, how spacious it is.
Yeah, it looked like they were in like
and
a
the computer
full room.
screens and everything.
If we were in a tank, we'd be like this.
So chill.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at that. No, like, look, this guy is not. This guy is
I know.
wide open,
It's 'cause he's
scared,
so chill.
terrified.
Look.
Oh boy, there's
no hands.
The suit, like,
no hands.
You get the cigarette out.
That's like a bit. No way. It would self-steer.
If he has the right alignment, a little Ackerman.
He just
in.
feels like a smoke. He's like tapping. There's like a lot happening right now. And he lights it.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Flame didn't move at all. He's got torch. Is he reaching for stuff now?
Yeah, his ashtray. He has to open his ashtray.
He's gonna do his taxes?
I've seen drifting no-handed. I've seen people initiate and throw no hands. I've seen no-hand 360s.
True. Also, that Polish dude that literally has no arms?
Yes, he drives with a...
So sick.
One of the coolest drivers in the world.
So much respect. Are you kidding me?
The Corolla is 50-50 weight distribution,
It is.
right? So if we're gonna say this is possible, the car is so set up and so balanced that when he throws the thing in, it just dead slides sideways.
Yep.
And as long as you stay on throttle, it should stay drifting.
I did that when I was a kid, when just going straight, and I had to change a CD, and I was eating, and it had to shift.
Yeah, but we're kind of going in a straight line. We're not trying to drift a car.
Just saying, I kind of did it.
Is it possible? I would say yes. I don't know if I tried on a mountain pass.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Maybe in between cones on a big skid pad while it's wet.
Yeah.
You can huck the car in, and how it dead slides for a second?
Yeah.
Just hurry up and try and make it happen. I don't know if I'd be that calm trying to figure it out.
In this next clip, the driver is attempting to do a burnout, but I'm guessing it doesn't go as well for him because it's on this show. Let's take a look. Ooh, we got a Mercedes.
Nice.
Oh no.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
He doesn't, is it? There we go. Oh, nope. All these dudes are wearing suits. This must be a wedding.
He's sweating right now. All pressure's on him.
He's like, homies, this is sick, right? Oh, that was a big flame.
You're trying to rip one for the boys, and you can't. And you're just like, I gotta get this car to do it. Everyone's watching you. Like, look. Dude, look, all of his boys, dog. Look at it, the whole mom. And they're filming it like he's about to fucking shut it down. He went from straight no problems to engine problems, dog. Okay, Sandro, how much in trouble is my man right here? What are we looking at?
He held it so long, he could have blown turbos, he could have overheated it.
He caused a fire.
He caused a fire, whatever else.
Whatever that is. I don't even know what that is.
I'm gonna assume he didn't turn off his traction control. You see the white smoke coming out of his exhaust. Something bad happened with coolant. I'm gonna say he blew his head gasket just because of how great and dense the white smoke is.
He definitely blew something, that burnout.
And his ego.
I don't think it's the German fails. I think it's just the actual conductor of that car.
One, you're doing a burnout at a wedding. Two, you can't do a burnout. Now you're messing up your car and you messed up the wedding. Get out of there, go home, guy.
Next clip.
All right. Slow drag race. Nice, nice. You see, that's pavement right there. That's beautiful. That's,
you can
here we
tell,
go.
yeah.
Here we go. Oh, what?
Oh, no.
Oh, he snapped it.
Yeah.
He snapped it.
Oh, no. Yeah, he snapped an axle or a drive shaft.
Yeah, he snapped it. Oh, they're still trying to race. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, because he hopped. He hopped, they're trying to finish it. Oh, that's where the boys, you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. That's beautiful. For the dub, the boys.
Look how fast they reacted too. As soon as it happened, his crew came up and was like, no, we got it. Here they come. There we go.
1 horsepower, 2 horsepower, 3
Everybody
horsepower,
hops
4
in,
horsepower.
then these guys,
This was over
these
here
guys
like,
had slow reaction time.
Dang, you're so mid, bro. Unseasoned.
We can tell that it was probably a drive shaft braking because you can still hear the engine revving, but he's not going anywhere and it's just rolling.
He hooked and it snapped that drive shaft.
Yeah.
Boom.
You can do as much modification to your engine as you can afford, but it's always gonna find the weak link. So if you put all the money in the engine, then the next weak link's gonna be the transmission. You build up the transmission, the next weak link is going to be your drive shaft. You build up the drive shaft, the next weak link is gonna be your rear def. You build up the rear def, it's gonna find the weak link.
And we found the weak link. You saw it right there, that guy.
We did, that guy's crew, way too slow.
See, that's what you need, boys. Look at that. So this next clip was when the world was shut down. But if I had a supercar, I'd probably be tearing it up like this guy right here. Nice. Okay, I wouldn't be doing that. I definitely wouldn't be doing that.
And
wow.
Well, how far did you get?
How far can you really get?
Yeah, where are you going?
Where are you going?
Look how empty the streets were.
I think he left his license plate behind too.
Whoa. And he jammed into the
The hell?
PSA, this was in New York City. This dude is a millionaire.
No
Notorious for doing stuff. Yes, he obviously got arrested for this.
Breaking news. He did. 10 minutes in jail.
This dude has pockets that are deep enough that this clip is constantly being scrubbed from the internet. So I had like a couple different sources of this clip, and then when I downloaded it and I went to recheck it earlier this week, it was the source was already gone.
Oh, crazy.
Dude, what?
I mean, he the minivan.
Dude, he moved that minivan. I'm gonna have to hold Porsche on the line for this one. How do you hit a car that hard and no airbags deploy and the car is still drivable? Should have blown the airbags in the Porsche and should have disabled the fuel. How did he drive away from that?
Some of these cars have relays when you get in an accident.
Yeah.
It'll shut off.
Fuel shut off switch,
Yeah.
like Ford Mustangs. If you get in an accident, it automatically shuts the fuel supply off.
Wait, we got breaking news?
He got the DA's office to drop all charges.
All right, who is this guy?
Benjamin Chen. Put that on in the logger video, you could see him, and it's all on video. The DA's office stated the people are moving to dismiss this matter because the case cannot be proven beyond a reasonable doubt.
Where's my legal eagle? You need to break this video down and see if this guy got away with crime and he up that minivan.
He called Larry H. Parker. I already know it.
All right, we got Ford.
My vehicle sounds like an elephant.
What? Sounds like an elephant getting his nut squeezed.
That's the first. Can I hear it again?
Yeah, one more time. You know, that's that. Oh man, that's a scary noise.
Jumanji right there. I'm gone. I think it's not like the shifter itself is not going it's not clicking in, so it's just spinning. Okay. And you'll hear that like rubbing, like zzz, it's trying to go in gear, but it's not. So it's like, usually it's the gearbox itself. Mm-hmm. It's not like initiating anymore. Or it's like something broke off or a little clip.
You know, on a video, it's hard to see the difference between, you know, basically 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional. Right. You can't tell.
Existence is pain, is what that car is saying.
Today you came in with the check engine light and a concern that there's no boost. After looking at the vehicle, I found heavy modifications done to it. From the blow-off valve here, which is controlled by said boost, this intercooler, piping.
Silicone piping.
All of this needs to be returned to stock for a Subaru trained technician to repair this.
Yep.
Or look at it further.
Yep.
That being said, your service writer will talk to you more. Thank you.
That fool said heavily modded. Wow, I was like waiting for like a big turbo.
Reverse clock turbo sitting on the top, something crazy. So basically, at the dealership side now, me as a technician, vehicle comes in and it has anything in there that's not factory is deemed not factory, not warrantable. Anything on it, an air filter would cause it, depending how picky the tech is. But yes, it is very true. If they see any modifications, they will deem it not warrantable, and they'll flag your car on the back end too.
So you would see a baby hose on there, like this modded. Would you be that guy? Would you be that guy? Be like, this Mercedes is modded up that.
I am out of that dealership scenario now, so I could openly say, yeah. Why? Because you have to see it on the other side also. You're the technician. You have this car that's been modified. The customer's playing with the vehicle. You don't want to be doing warranty work for something that somebody's messing with.
I mean, it makes sense, but I mean...
Yeah, but if the car comes back, it's your responsibility now. The car came back blown up. The car came back with now another check engine light. Guess what? Now we're talking about the other stuff that happens on the background.
It's like a dad that gives you a toy and says, don't play with it. Don't play with your cars when you buy it from the dealer.
How's it going?
How's it going?
First time patrol. Stop me kids, no front license plate.
What? Oh, okay.
Alright, you got your license registration?
No front license plate.
What's modified to the vehicle? I can kind of hear the exhaust. It's not over the top. But
Yeah.
It's
No,
minor,
honestly,
it's
nothing. It's a GTR. It's a Nissan
I
GTR.
used to have one.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
GTR?
I have an R8 at the moment.
An
R8
R8?
E63. Are there any modifications under the hood?
No.
Nothing at all?
Nothing at
okay. Go and pop the hood for me. We'll do a vehicle inspection. What have you done to the exhaust?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. I literally bought the car. It's 100% stuck.
Okay. No, I believe you.
That charge pipe is not.
Yeah, that's aftermarket. I'd be suspicious. If a cop's pulling you over for like modified vehicle, I think the last cop you want is someone who's like really into cars. I mean, this cop has had a GTR, apparently has an R8. They might know what they're looking at. This guy's just lying to his face though. And then posting it on the internet.
Imagine being the cop.
Yeah.
And seeing that later and being like,
yourself.
oh, dude.
Yeah. The cop is like, hey man, tag me next time.
I feel like the moment you say something is modified or illegal, he's got to do something.
100%.
Best case scenario is like he just lets you go because he realizes you're not in trouble. But worst case is he pops the hood, and I've had guys in California, buddies, and they'll look under for a catalytic converter, and they'll see smog equipment gone, and they give you a ticket to go to a state ref.
Yeah.
And if that same car, you get another ticket to the state ref, they can make it so that car can never be registered in California again. So I had a buddy that happened to his car, and he's like, he doesn't want to drive it anymore.
Let's talk about these flames for a sec. I've never really thought about doing this to my car. How do you get it to do that?
You have to retune the engine computer. The ignition's late, so when the combustion's normally happening in the combustion chamber and pushing the piston down, so a lot of that's happening late and the exhaust valve's already opening.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And instead of that flame front just happening inside there, the extra fuel's ending up in the exhaust, and then that late combustion is able to ignite that fuel in the exhaust, and it's just coming out the back.
I mean, it's pretty cool, can't lie. Let's check out this next video.
The idea of somebody modifying a Miata with a 128-inch wheelbase would be a real riot. Maybe we'll find it. Do you have one of those in here yet?
We'll see.
There it is. There it is.
What is that thing? Is that a Miata?
That is, my heart is just, I envy the guy in one respect. I wish I had enough money I could do stuff like that. Junk that I would never use.
How would you fit that in your garage? That's the thing I question. It's pretty long.
Knock a hole in the back of the garage. What's he got for a power plant? I wonder if he built up any sort of frame underneath it. It'd be fascinating to learn some of the details.
If this is your car, shoot us a DM on Donut Instagram. We'd love to hear from you. Bob would love to hear from you.
Yes, indeed.
And we'd like it if you took us for a ride.
We did have the idea of taking the Miata components, the suspension components, and doing a sport sedan.
Whoa.
We played around with it. We couldn't get any interest from anybody. Partially because Miata was selling like hotcakes. You know.
Was there drawings ever of this car?
Mark Jordan did a couple of sketches for it, and some had a little bit of Miata taste in them.
Oh.
Okay, but it did have Miata door handles.
I would love to see that.
Me too. I would have bought one.
Bob, let's go to the next clip. I've had enough of this long Miata.
We should definitely clip this one short.
That's a good, wow. Dude, Bob's really good at this.
When my mechanic tells me my tire, oh gosh. When my mechanic tells me my tires need rotating, but I know he's trying to scam me because my tires literally rotate daily.
The fucking cat kills me.
He didn't rotate them like a...
I start feeling like this is a customer looking at me like, I'm telling the customer you need a rotation because the front tires are worn out and the back ones are still new. And she's looking at me. My husband already did it. Those tires are worn out in the front.
Listen, let me show you. I have heard people come from the thought of like, oh, well, the best wheels should be on the drive tires. I mean, ultimately, all the best tires should probably be always on the front where you have to steer the car, right? So if you roll over, water or whatever, you should have directional control. So maybe he thought he was doing the right thing.
I don't even know if I'm doing a good thing by talking.
You know what this means? This means shut the
Oh, there you go. Shut the up.
It means you guys are good. We can go on to the next one. I swear to God.
Hey, how they usually go like this? Like this? They do like flick you off. This is Tony. Shut the up.
Shut the up.
Give me the next meme.
Every shop has that guy that looks like this. That's me.
Andrea. Last time Andrea came out,
It happens.
she had a solid grown beard. I'm looking at her, what the are you doing? And she's like, oh, I did an oil change. And I'm like, what?
I don't oil change.
What the? Lights not going in my mouth.
I touch my face like, oh, my nose is itchy or my forehead's itchy, and the next thing you know, I look like
You look
this
like
guy.
Nelly?
Yes, I look like Nelly.
Like Nelly with too much like that, like a football player. I feel like she does that on purpose. Like she just grabs during like, I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, working. Don't you see my face? I'm like, oh, okay.
Sometimes you just gotta get in there and you like,
What, mac
you
it
know?
off of everything? Swear to God. My jaw hurts.
Oh.
This woman went 50,000 miles without an oil change, and this is what the oil filter looks like.
Hot dog.
Oh my God.
Oh, gross. Ew.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it was in bypass operation.
It had to have been, dude. Look at all that.
That thing's not filtering anymore. It's just a solid piece of sludge.
What is it doing when it's bypassing? So basically, there is a bypass valve. In this case, it would be located in the oil filter housing because that type of filter is a housing. So essentially, when you're building up too much pressure because of the clogged oil filter, the spring tensioner will just basically and the oil will completely bypass the filter and just start going straight through that valve because dirty oil is better than no oil.
The reason why we have oil change intervals is because oil does break down over heat cycles, over time, and what we know as broken down oil is sludge. Everybody's heard of sludge. Well, where do you get sludge from? It's broken down oil. All the additive packages have broken down, and we're left with this sludgy mess that starts to stick into the corners of the engine, and we'd want to avoid that. So we try to change the oil out before it turns into sludge from all this breaking down. But if you don't do your oil changes, what we're seeing in this woman's filter is also in the rest of the engine. It's going to be everywhere and create all kinds of issues. It's going to, any valve that requires oil pressure to function, we're getting sludged up. So this engine is going to end up with a ton of other issues because she decided not to change her oil as often as she should.
What do we got? It appears that they were trying to drift a Civic.
That's usually the Mustang move,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it sure is.
What do? He pulled the handbrake, right? And started counter steering. I think when it started hooking up again in the back, he forgot to uncounter steer, and then the thing's pointed to the right. Oh, and he dropped the left tire in the grass.
Another nice Civic getting ruined in this video. Your team has a history of turning front-wheel drive cars into drift cars. What do you guys have to do?
When we convert a front-wheel drive car to rear-wheel drive, it's a major transformation. So we have to turn the engine 90 degrees, so it's pointing toward the rear. We have to adapt it to a rear-wheel drive transmission, change the engine mounts. Almost every case, the firewall doesn't allow for the transmission to go to the rear. So you have to cut the firewall and do a bunch of sheet metal down the center of the car. Then in the rear, there's no drivetrain back there, so you have to modify it to have a rear end and axles and all that kind of stuff.
Luckily though, they didn't crash into a tree. Probably just drove home with their tail between their legs.
Uh-oh. Under the Jeep, I bet he takes the drive shaft off.
Oh, I knew that was gonna happen.
Oh, no. Oh, he's sliding with it. Yeah, get out. Oh, yeah.
It's fast.
Good job, guy.
Yeah.
He held on to that motherfucker and then busted the Matrix.
Yeah. He was like Neo.
Yeah.
How crazy.
Good work.
Now save it, because it's going for that other car.
He put the vehicle in park, relying on the drive wheels to be stopped. And when he disconnected the drive shaft, well, that's part of the drive line that's keeping those wheels in place. When you disconnect the drive shaft, now they're open to spin.
You know you're gonna disconnect it. You didn't put your e-brake on. You didn't do that. So it's like, it's not the car that's the pain. You're the pain because it runs you over. You're gonna blame the car, but it's really you.
Always tell students, chalk the wheels. No, and don't rely on the parking brake. Don't rely on it being in park. Just always chalk the wheels on the ground.
You know, parking brakes never work.
Safety first, kids.
Subaru? Yeah. Forester, I think, or Outback. Oh no!
Oh, gosh. Dude, that is a recall. That would kill someone. This is like AI, like,
dude, that's crazy.
How?
Like a Stephen King book.
It is.
Or the Subaru that ate people.
The guillotine, what I'd call it. Someone messed with it, dude. For sure. They probably did something with the actuator or like flipped it. See how it opened ultra slow but closed?
Yeah.
If that happened from factory Subaru, they'd be in this lawsuit.
100%.
Just take this back to your buddy and have him fix it because I don't want to mess with this.
All right, new Cybertruck.
Oh!
don't do that.
That's a big puddle. That looks fine. Where is it?
Dead.
Oh. Did it shut off?
Generally not a great sound. This actually kind of sounds like a plastic fender liner.
I was gonna say, it sounds exactly like my truck rubbing.
Yes,
I put
it
bigger
does.
tires on. That's the exact sound it makes when I turn and it catches the fender liner.
Any noise like that, that's loud like that, is always scary. Like, oh, what did I do? Until you find out what it is, it's just a piece of plastic. Nothing to worry about. Really? You can just cut it off, take it off,
Got it.
reclip it, but
Just pull it out so you can get on the
yeah,
trail again.
yeah, exactly.
Number one way to avoid this, don't hit the puddle that fast. It looks really cool for photos and videos and everything, but at the same time, you can do some pretty serious damage.
This car's probably at a recall facility right now.
Probably not accepting it. Don't use the truck for truck things. Bad you.
I'm sure the guy driving, or girl, whoever, is bricks.
Oh yeah, probably.
Because they don't know what that sounds
Oh, and they just spent $100,000
Yeah.
on what is supposed to be a truck, I guess.
Yeah, and they're like, crap, I didn't turn on Wade mode.
Generally, the way the wheel wells are shaped, a lot of water just flows into them when you hit big puddles, and those plastic fender liners are usually only held in with a couple of clips,
Right.
and the pressure of water against it can pop them out pretty easily.
Especially in a vehicle like a Cybertruck where the machines that put it together don't torque things down enough. So
Oh.
I can imagine those fender liners are really loose.
Please, Elon, don't sue me. I have no money.
So we recently just took a big long trip in Death Valley in a Cybertruck, which was going to be a lot of fun, but we didn't actually make it to the major destination we were trying to get to. When you're traveling really far, especially to go off-road, to go see the world and stuff like that, you need range, and you can't bring a charger with you because the power it takes to charge these things is immense. I don't recommend taking Cybertrucks on long trips.
This next clip is actually a self-driving Win, so let's take a look and see if it's anything to actually write home about. Ah, summoning the car. Yeah, this is a cool thing.
Yeah, not bad.
Make a car come over to where you are, especially if you got a big puddle.
Yeah, forgot my rain boots.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, it worked, and it looked like it was moving pretty quick. I know some people were complaining about the like auto parking being incredibly slow for a while, but that thing's moving all right.
Yeah, that looked fine to me. If you're going any faster than that in a parking lot,
Yeah,
you are
that's
in
probably
a
too
hurry.
fast.
Yeah, exactly. So no, that looked fine to me. That did exactly what I'd expect.
Yeah, and that is a great like use case of a time where it's actually really helpful. That's some pretty deep standing water. It's nice to be able to not have to walk through that. Are you in control at all, or is it just know where you are and it comes to you? What's going on?
It's very similar to just autonomous driving. They are cleared to do this in parking lots, so they don't have to follow a lot of the same rules
Right,
as
since it's
on
private property.
Exactly, on the roads. You know, your phone knows your GPS location. The car knows your GPS location. It knows where it is and it knows where you are, and it needs to go from point A to point B.
Ooh, what is this? La la, that's a supercar right there. I tell you what. That fool looks cool though. You see the shades on, pulls up. He's like, "What's up?" He has the little lunch box right there welded on that. I think this is a rat rod. I think he just thinks that it's super. That's it. What defines a supercar? Definitely not this. No. Definitely not this. Some people say it's like, you know, limited runs, small manufacturers, all performance enthusiasts, northwards of 80 grand. Some are saying it's performance based, so they have to be like between 500 and 900 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. Top speed over 200. Right. So rarely have 4 seats. So I have a supercar. You do? I do have a supercar. Okay. So then this guy has a supercar. So now when I tell people about my BMW, I'd be like, I'd like you to see my supercar. You want to see my stuff? You want to see my stuff? So that means that those K-swapped Hondas are supercars. Right, because they're up there northwards of 500 horsepower. And then the chassis is lightweight. They're at 700 horsepower, 800. No problem. 1,000. So they're considered supercars. So all you Honda boys out there, you have a supercar. It's official. You heard it here.
This next clip features a two-wheeled car that uses gyroscopic stabilization to stay upright.
Ford Gyron! Ford Gyron! Hang on. Jimmy!
Bob?
The Gyron is going to be on YouTube.
What? I've never heard of it before.
It's great.
What are you talking about?
And let's see it in action.
Okay, I gotta go by.
Bob?
Oh, it's not the Ford Gyron.
What the hell is that?
It's an attempt to do a Ford Gyron.
Ew, that looks so ugly.
Yeah, but I gotta tell you, this had one advantage over the Ford Gyron.
Which is?
This could actually be driven. The Ford Gyron was a pushmobile.
Gross. Gross regardless. This looks uglier than a Beamer clown shoe.
That's ugly.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely takes the cake. Look at that long snout. Is that for stabilization? Why is it so long? That's what she said.
Dog's
Sorry.
balls.
Dog's balls.
Because
All
they
right.
can. No, I suspect that it's so long, that's where the space is for the gyroscope.
Oh.
Gyroscope is this spinning gizmo, usually has a relatively heavy flywheel.
Okay.
And when you spin a gyroscope, let's say have little kids' toys, this gizmo, which has like a center post and the gyroscope and maybe a ring, if you put it down, it can stand on that one point.
Okay.
And if you push it, it will always try to go upright.
Oh, okay.
So it's a stability issue.
I've seen cups like that.
They used gyroscopes the longest time in autopilot systems and such because they would establish where it was right, up and down, left and right. Okay. Ford, and we got to pump this up, Tony. We need a photo of the Ford Gyron. It's where this insanity started. This is the Ford Gyron. Monstrosity, nothing. That's what we.
That one looks cooler than the other one.
That's what we will all be driving.
That looks way cooler. I wouldn't mind driving that.
Yeah. Well, the problem is it didn't drive.
Okay. Well, I don't want to drive it.
There was a period of time in the 50s when Ford's engineering department, I think, was experimenting with drugs. Okay.
Love that.
And they came up with all
Love that
kinds
Ford
of stuff.
department.
This was this idea for this car of the future that had two main wheels, these little stabilizer wheels that came out. And once it got the gyroscope going, it would just stay. Now, it does raise the question, why? Okay.
Dog's balls.
Well, yeah, dog's balls, exactly right. Some guy said. And the other one, to me, that was a real factor is you're bringing along the weight of a gyroscope, which, because of the definition the flywheel has in it, on a large car would have to be pretty bloody heavy.
Yeah, I imagine.
So, and it didn't drive. It was a pushmobile. They just shoved it around to the motor shows, and they put it in a special stand, and they could make the little wheels retract. Oh, look, it's stabilized. Yeah, right.
Get this monstrosity out of my face. I want to see this next clip.
Yeah.
Boat.
No,
Oh my
look at
God.
that. That's just crazy. It looks cool though.
How? Why does that look cool?
He's driving like standing up.
It's like
You can't see for sure.
It's the car equivalent of an overbite. Absolutely horrible.
I personally wouldn't do that, but it looks pretty cool.
Can you tell from the suspension modifications that it always rides like that, or is it variable where they can change it?
He probably has bags.
Okay.
He probably has an air ride that he could probably like raise up, and if he doesn't, I mean, that's just gangster. He doesn't give a That's what's up. And it comes down to the same thing with the other car. It's too wide, no fender covers for the tires.
Yeah.
So that whole thing is illegal, right?
Yeah, actually, in North and South Carolina, where this for some reason originated, they had to pass specific laws to make it illegal because of how stupidly dangerous it is.
It is pretty dangerous because you can't see anybody. Like you just run over somebody and they'll be like, "Whoa, that was a speed bump." No, that was actually a pedestrian just right under your wheels.
Yeah.
You definitely say this is legal or not legal?
It's specifically called out as illegal in several states.
Don't play like that, guys. It looks pretty cool, but I guess not. The tie is not letting me tell you guys.
You seem so defeated.
I'm defeated,
oh,
guys.
that's sick. I would never do it. I don't like it, but...
It's the tie, guys. It's the tie.
Diesel engines are incredible machines that can produce insane amounts of power when someone like Gale here gets his hands on them. So let's see what happens when two souped up diesel engines go head to head in a little game of tug of war.
Well, I love these things.
All right. Oh, big trucks.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
What? One was
no.
just pulling the other, right?
No problem.
Was that actual tug of war?
I don't think so. I mean, just crumbled immediately. That sucks. What do we got? Brookside Farm Services. Shouts out.
Oh, man.
Dang.
Oh, my God.
So there's looks like a water tank in the bed here.
conceivably put more weight over the tires.
Yeah, exactly.
Because,
Traction.
Yeah. I mean, these big old tractor tires on here, paddle tires, whatever you want to call them. I mean, that's a very small contact patch on pavement like that. So you need all that weight on the back. Oh, you know what? It started bouncing up and down, and then I bet he hit the gas, and then we kind of experienced the same thing in our motorhome episode.
Oh my God.
Weight coming up and down, then torque at the exact wrong time, snap something, boom.
I love the shocks just dangling down. Unbolt those shocks for me. Never mind.
This kind of looks like a fun event, though. But the vibes are pretty interesting.
Oh my
The caption says "Rest of the world Formula One." Meanwhile, in Mexico, isn't there there's a Formula One track in Mexico? Isn't there?
We don't exist, okay? Meanwhile,
There
Mexico.
are professional Mexican Formula One drivers. Like, what? Are we just gonna do?
Meanwhile, in Mexico, for me, if I had money, let's just say I had money, I'll probably put 2 motors, one in the front and one in the back. 2 LS swaps.
Honestly, that's probably the most economical and efficient powerhouse you can do.
Yeah.
Plus, the aftermarket's there. Parts are cheap.
You could swing that ass pretty hard.
You could swing that ass
Mm-hmm.
wherever you want. Okay, I've never driven a bus. Have you driven a bus?
Yeah.
Is it wild?
It's wild. It's wild, especially when they're teaching you how to drive it. Let me tell you how it goes.
Okay.
So this is a shifter. The guy's like this, like. I'm like, well, damn, that was. What are you shifting? He's like, you have to do it with style. In Spanish, he goes like, si no lo haces con estilo, no lo hagas. So it means if you don't do it with style, don't do it at all. He's like, look, it's like this, like this, like that. Okay, Sandro? And I'm like, so you don't grab? No, don't grab it like that. That's nasty. And I'm like, so I gotta go like that, Dick? Like serious? Like, I just imagine how these fools are driving it though.
Not like that.
These fools driving it like this, like first, second, third. Wait, back to second.
Back to
third again. I don't know. You know what time it is?
You know what time it is? No, it's my turn. Are you in or not?
You know.
I
Put
know
me
it.
in,
I know.
coach.
I don't even have to ask.
Put me
I don't even
in,
have
coach.
to ask. Next clip.
Cuando dejes el chalán apretando un tornillo ya desarmó todo. No, hombre, chalán. Un bien putazo.
Andrea, solo me quedé pensando en ti ahorita.
No.
Andrea.
No, Andrea, no.
¿No?
¿Con Juan?
¿Con Juan o no?
No, ese sí.
Esa es Andrea, de
No
seguro
quiero,
es
decir,
Andrea.
no quiero decir nada porque se va a enojar Juan, pero eso más que todo es la Andrea. Juanito deja a la Andrea y le dice, hey, quita esto. Y ya regresa Juanito y dice, no, pues ya quité todo. No mames, solo era ese tornillo. Pero es que para llegar a ese tornillo se tuvo que quitar todo la frente.
Yo a esa edad todavía nomás estaba dándole la herramienta a mi papá. Yo todavía no, ni...
Y no la dices bien tampoco.
Sí se la di bien.
No seas mentirosa.
¿Tú cómo chingados sabes?
Ya sé.
Le marco a mi papá
Márcale,
ahorita.
a ver si dice que eres chingona para pasar la herramienta.
Le vamos a marcar a mi papá.
Va,
a ver,
juega.
A ver qué pex.
That's how much good a mechanic you are. They don't even want to pick up your calls.
Please leave your message
So yo gané. Obviamente ni el jefe quiere contestar el teléfono. Con eso, mija, give me the next clip.
De los creadores de Pica Hielo y de MacGyver llega ante todos ustedes Siliconator,
Papi.
el mecánico que todo lo soluciona con silicón.
Esa fui yo. No te voy a mentir, esa fui yo en el Audi. No tanto a ese extremo, pero eso sí fui yo. Yo
Ya
arreglaba
escucharon,
todo.
En Audi, esta muchacha.
No. Pero como
Audi,
digo, al extremo
esta muchacha,
mira, deja.
Audi, esta
Déjalo
muchacha
bien clarito.
llena su pinche carro de silicón.
No, ni
No me digas que le echaste silicón a la llanta en la orilla también,
mi madre.
El silicón es un poco, no tanto, no tan agresivo como eso, porque decir que lo eches y caiga dentro del motor. So, decir que van a poner un thermostat. Cuando lo van a pegar y lo pegas y le echas mucho silicón, lo que hace es que el silicón se mete para adentro y Y todo ese líquido que está cruzando por el motor y está saliendo por el thermostat, por todas las líneas y se mete en el radiador, como las líneas están bien finas, eso lo que hace es tapa toda esa función.
Hay diferentes silicones que están hechos de diferentes materiales. Hay unos que aguantan más, hay unos que aguantan temperaturas más altas, hay unos que no.
Hay diferentes grados de silicón que va a usar uno. Obviamente, tú lo usas mucho, yo casi no lo uso.
No lo usaba mucho nomás. De vez en cuando se necesitaba usar. Se quebraba un pedacito de plástico o lo que sea. Silicón era mi mejor amigo.
Ay, güey, aquí está Siliconator.
En algún tiempo sí era Siliconator, pero ahora ya no.
Ese sí te gustó a ti, ¿verdad?
Con que no es algo, o sea, de importancia, como te digo, que sea una pieza de adentro de plástico o lo que sea. Algo que no se va a notar. Está bien, está bien. Nomás bajita la mano se pasa.
Hablado bien, como un tío.
Tengo que empezar desde ahorita, tengo que practicar.
Lo habló bien. Como yo, hey, tengo mi tío, tengo mi camarada. Ahí está el compa.
Siliconator. Y me pongo los lentes.
Ah, ya me dio miedo.
Next clip, por favor.
Now I have so many fingers.
Siliconator. El mecánico que todo lo soluciona con silicón.
Esa no soy yo, esa no soy yo. Jamás en mi vida lo he usado así. De nuevo nos vamos a repetir que el silicón no se debería usar en áreas donde, o sea, tienes coolant o tienes aceite.
Le está echando mucha salsa al taco ahí. Me imagino le está cobrando mucha feria al vato y le dice, no mames, sí le voy a poner esto y esto. Y aparece al Oprah el vato ahí, tú agarras silicón y tú agarras silicón. Y silicón para ti, y hay silicón abajo del asiento también. Pues es tu estilo, carnal, ¿no?
No, esto no es mi estilo, ni madres. Mi estilo mío, como te digo, es adentro del coche.
Ya no hables tanto. Si no entiendes esto, mija, si no entiendes lo que es esto, significa dale.
No me chingues, apenas lo hizo.
Tírame
apenas
el
lo
next
hizo.
clip.
No, pues no, pinche next clip. Okay.
Amigos, no caigan en el cuento. La R en la palanca de velocidades no es de rápido, es de reversa. Miren lo que sucede.
Wow. A su madre.
Oh, man. Me da mucho gusto que él intentó eso antes de que yo lo intentara. Porque yo también estaba pendejada.
Se quebró. En inglés le dicen el money shift.
Cambio
Primera,
de dinero.
segunda, porque se va toda tu feria. Hay carros de los cambios, ¿dónde están? A ver, decir un Jetta lo tienes aquí arribita, ¿verdad? Está primera, segunda, tercera, cuarta y quinta, ¿verdad?
Okay.
Pero reversa lo tienes que empujar y meter para adelante.
¿Lo
¿verdad?
empujas o lo levantas?
O la reversa que está aquí. So, decir que estás corriendo, vas en chinga. 1, 2, 3 y decir un accidente que en vez de que te metas aquí en cuarta, te vas en reversa. ¡Pum! Se lo metiste y ¿sabes lo que va a hacer? ¡Pum! Se va a tronar toda esa transmisión. Eso es lo que pasó ahí. Me imagino iba en alta velocidad y metió reversa y babalú se
Por
llamó.
accidente.
Bye, bye. ¿Te ha pasado a ti algo así?
No. En reversa no, pero todos los carros estándar que yo he tenido...
¿Los jodes?
No, ni madres. ¿Cómo crees? Yo sé cómo manejar bien.
¿Oh, sí?
Estándar, yo sé cómo manejar.
No creo porque tu papá no te contestó, pero síguele.
Mi papá sí me ama, el tuyo no. Mi papá me va a hablar.
No te va a hablar para atrás.
Sí me va a hablar
Dale,
para
dale.
atrás.
Se va a acabar este video y no le va a hablar al jefe para nada.
Nunca me ha pasado que lo mete de accidente en reversa, solamente porque todos los carros estándar que yo he tenido son de 6 velocidades. Entonces, cuando son de 6, pues para los míos, se tiene que bajar y luego meter a sexta.
La morra tiene varo. En pocas palabras, tiene varo.
No tengo varo.
Tiene varo. ¿Qué
No
dijo?
tengo varo.
No, nunca tenía un carro que no tenga 6 cambios. Eso tiene varo. ¿Tienes varo?
No.
Para la bandita que no tiene dinero como yo, sí existe ese cambio de reversa aquí, porque no tenemos 6 cambios nosotros. Perdón, estamos pobres. Ahí sí les va a salir una feria, dependiendo de qué transmisiones.
Si este güey está pensando que R es para rápido, me imagino que estaba tratando de ir rápido. Y si ese es el caso, pues va a tener que gastar buena feria para ganarse una nueva transmisión. Te voy a aventar con mi carro, Sandra.
Dale, diles.
¿Me hartaste? Ya enséñame el next clip.
Estás pagando por la experiencia.
¿Quién me está hablando? Por favor. Tengo una pregunta muy importante para ti, ¿ok? Tú contéstala siendo honesto. Sandra, a ver, pregúntale.
Ok, la pregunta es esta. su hija era mecánica chingona desde que nació, como decir, la primera vez que fue a trabajar con usted, ¿hizo el jale todo bien?
Ahí está. ¿Qué creen?
Jefe, cuando nació ella, nació mecánica.
Mira, no nació mecánica, porque nadie nace con un trabajo en mente, porque es un bebé. Pero sí te digo que desde que tuvo uso de razón, que yo trabajaba en carros, ella sí estaba. Yo le pedí una herramienta y ella me la llevaba.
¿Ves? ¿Qué se creen?
Pero ¿sabe una cosa? Le dicen a su hija Siliconator. ¿Por qué?
Apá, me hacen la burla. Yo le dije que a veces yo soy Siliconator porque yo soy el silicón para las cosas que quebro y desde ese momento me están haciendo la burla, pa.
Miren, si le hacen bullying a mi hija, voy para allá a ver qué es.
No se venga.
Ahí está. No, que muy chingones.
Gracias, jefecito. Solo aquí dándole carrilla a la bandita, ya sabes.
Muchas gracias, Daddy. I love you so much. Te hablo al ratón.